Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of By the Bumberclats.
The new daily show.
I know, it's fucking, we're just doing loads, aren't we? Me and Thorin were having a good old moan there while we were getting ready for this. 3 days in a row, or quite appropriate, I would say, Duncan, given how much is actually going on in the...
You could actually do daily coverage now of like the World Leagues or whatever.
Yeah, it's, anyway, there's plenty to get into. The reason we're doing this show, obviously, is we missed a few. We wanted to catch up for the patrons. We did a special show.
We also need to talk about some CS eventually.
That's the thing. We've just been talking about leagues. So there is some news and there's events and stuff happening, but obviously the league stuff kind of takes precedent over that. So we'll just get straight into it. Obviously, shout out to the sponsor, .com/RLS. And if you do that, basically what they're doing at the moment is if you deposit up to $100, they will match that for the purposes of betting on the site. So essentially, you're kind of getting some free money if you want to go and play some bets over there on esports events. It supports the channel, supports them. They're a great company in the space. They have made a lot of really good content as well. Go check out their YouTube channel, which is just CS for the Counter-Strike fans. They do a Dota one too. I got a Sean Gares interview over there, which might be interesting to a lot of people. Again, he works for the CSPPA, so there's some stuff that is relevant to what we're going to talk about today. So there you have it. So look, let's just dive in. I want to get all the bullshit roster news and all that out the way, because we know there's been some more stuff that's gone on today that just keeps evolving this kind of situation that we've got going on, with all of these leagues that are coming out, the B-side, the ESL Pro League, the Blast Premier. But we will talk about that a little bit later. For now, let's talk about a big roster move that happened, one that I said needed to happen in a recent article I wrote over on Deserto, and that is MSL returning to North. They finally did it. They finally decided that, yes, we were going to have to go groveling on our hands and knees, because the last time North was good was under MSL's guidance. It was when they won a dream hack, and MSL was the MVP, and he was helping everybody. And it looked like North had finally turned the corner from shit street into relevancy lane. And then they kicked him, because that's just the North way of doing things. They've been in a downward spiral ever since.
It's like they got their own meme, wasn't it? Because remember, the meme was, if you got good, they kicked you from the team.
Yeah, exactly.
And they really did kick him after the next event.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even a meme.
It was too much, wasn't it?
At this point. So you had that going on. And then, of course, as well, which we'll get to in a little bit, I've got to talk about the rebrand with you, because, I don't know why they've turned their logo into a goofy twat, but we'll get to that in a minute, I guess. But anyway, this is obviously MSL going back to North. They also recently have kind of, as a result of that, have benched Yugi. He's not going to be in the team, which is in and of itself a huge move towards North being competitive again, because Yugi has never been up to the tier 1 standard since he left Heroic, and actually while he was still in Heroic, that was true. So what do you make of this move? I know obviously you're a big fan of MSL and his skill set. Is this the way back for North?
Yeah, it obviously is. Like we said, listen, yes, their backs were against the wall. There weren't many other moves you could really try at this point in time. But the reason why I actually do think this is the way back for North is, the real problem here is that, unfortunately, the time when MSL wasn't in the team coincided with Valdir using up all the rest of his 9 lives in North, and he's not going to be there. So the premier talent that's outside of Astralis isn't in your team. That's a killer, because that's what you always relied on if you're North. Well, at least we get the second best players, right? So the reason why I do think there's a bright future, though, is because what I think you need to do now is you let MSL work with this team, figure out who's good or who he wants to keep. And this is what you do. Everyone's seen that Hunden over in Mad Lions, he's got a bunch of players that are pretty decent. In Heroic, they're not terrible. There's some all right players there. So after that, pick the right players. A couple of them might end up being skilled. A couple of the ones in Mad Lions actually looked all right for the brief amount of exposure they've had. As long as some of these develop into the next Danish players, and let's face it, Denmark's a deep scene, then you bring them over. MSL's a decent enough leader, then you've got a team. That could be the team. The problem they've had in the last year and a half is it's been like a mixture of people who you brought in who didn't make it. I find Gid just a very average to below average player. I just don't know what there is to see in him. You've had to recycle Cajun B. You just hope you're just still praying and rolling the Kirby dice and hoping it comes up. I don't know, fucking sixes or whatever it would be in this scenario. Like, the real problem is you kind of been going in circles or just doing things that were never really going to work out. So for me, if you can just get some of the next crop of Danish talent that now seems to be ripening, which unfortunately, if you're someone like Hunden, is just the way your career goes, mate. If you ever get them good, they're going to be taken, unfortunately. So then hopefully if you're North, you snag a couple of those guys, you get maybe Borup becomes good in Heroic eventually. Maybe someone, I can't remember which ones were the good ones in fucking Mad Lads. I think it was like Acor and Rhodes or something. You get one of those guys, you figure out who stays in North, and at that point, that should be a top 10 team.
Yeah, I think there's still a few question marks around the lineup for me. I mean, and I've been watching them. We're not going to talk about DreamHack Leipzig.
The current lineup doesn't look that good to me.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about DreamHack Leipzig, until it's over. But obviously, results were kind of up and down today, completely wrecking my fantasy lineup, incidentally. But I think that they're one move away, I think, from being a relevant team again. And that could be one of any two particular moves. I mean, the good news is MSL, despite being out in the wilderness for a while, is looking like he's playing at a good individual level of skill. He's back to AWPing. He's getting things done with it. Had good production so far in Germany, which, it shows that he stayed sharp, and hopefully they can pick up where they left off back when they were actually being competitive at tournaments. It might take a little while to get there, but I'm quietly optimistic that this is a step in the right direction, and certainly they'll be there or thereabouts in that top 15, as we move forward into these leagues and ladders and everything else that's coming out.
Funny thing about North, though, is one of the reasons I've always wanted them to take that. I know they're not at that level now, but when they were just one step below Astralis, the reason why I always hoped they would take the step forwards and become like a true top 5 team that you could like bank on was because, first of all, at the time that they were North originally, the org absolutely was at that level and could have supported that. And that's why, like, they had some of the most advanced resources, like proper coaches and scouts and a fucking academy team and all the venue and stuff. But the problem I had was this. They obviously in the game didn't get to that level. But the thing I always liked about them is they don't have a Nicola Nyhum. They didn't have anyone who was selling you a line of shit. The worst you can say about North is people that used to get annoyed at MSL just saying they'll come back stronger all the time, which is really just MSL's shit version of trying to be a leader, like as a, a man in that sense, like it's what he thinks is that he looked it up on the internet, like, being positive. So, it's just his way of doing it. But I actually thought in terms of the vibe of the club, they actually had a very reasonable vibe, like a very down to earth vibe. Like I thought they would have been a cool sort of like second club that people could have cheered for. But the problem is with the success Astralis has had, and then the fact that as much as some of the people in Astralis are cunts, they do somewhat live up to the arrogance almost. There's no space for North right now, is there? They have no identity.
Yeah, true. And, look, I'll also add as well that one of the reasons I think people jumped all over them is because it was widely reported they were one of the highest paid teams in the scene. Obviously with that,
it's easy to meme on you.
Yeah, of course it is, because people know you're making 20,000 or whatever the fuck a month, and people are like, well, where's the fucking results? Plus, you've bigged it up. You're doing all the content about, hey, we got a sports psychologist, we got this, we play in a football stadium. Like, all right, then get me a fucking result against the tier 3 opponent, then you cunts. And so a lot of fans kind of feel that way. Obviously we had the wheelchair meme, which still blows my mind that
that's so unreasonable that mods allow that.
It's so unreasonable that people just think of that. It made sense when it was Moses.
Mate, the maddest one of all is, I'm not joking, right? I don't want to speak at school here, so I won't say the context. Yeah. But they've either retweeted memes like that or replied to them on Reddit and said something like, haha, funny, or something like something mental, like they almost like what would you say? Like fucking, I can't think what the word would be like, but almost like agreed with the meme. Like that's a meme where even if it exists and you think, hey, we're getting a bit of meme traction here, you go out your way never to validate it. You don't ever mention it. You just let people do it. Because that meme, by the way, is not something you want in the modern day. But your team is shit, therefore they're in wheelchairs. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, listen,
I'm not like someone who's like getting like fucking pearl clutching. Like, I don't lose my shit because someone put a wheelchair sign. But just in the modern climate, like, no one else is allowed to do anything like that. That's actually an outrageous meme.
I mean, of course, they actually went out and they addressed the toxicity as well, didn't they?
Exactly.
And I think what was interesting was they were complaining about like players getting like DMs and tweets at them when they lost games because like they'd cost people skins or whatever the fuck. And then when somebody said, "Does this mean we can't do North anymore with the wheelchair symbol in?" I think like the North management were like, "Oh no, that's perfect."
Yeah, there we go. Like, that's what I was referring to. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, no, it ain't. That's actually way worse than people telling you you're a shit cunt.
Yeah. Listen, no toxicity, please. What about people in wheelchairs? Fuck them. Like, what? What standard is this?
I know. Esports is a fucking sewer, mate. Every day, like, you just have to bump into people just being completely ridiculous. I can't handle it. Well, anyway, while we're talking about ridiculousness, let's have a look at their fucking logo.
Too much.
Has it done yet?
It's the one on the right, yeah. Like kid eating the apple.
Well, yeah, I don't know if Sam can bring that tweet up, but basically this is what I did before. Yeah, because like obviously everyone knows the kid eating the apple meme,
can't
right?
You defend this shit, can you?
No, you can't, can you? So like I don't understand what the fucking rebrand was it I don't know what the rebrand
so busted up.
No, like mate, some of the memes as well, like with the fucking
he looks like he's just been plowing that apple with his fucking teeth. I bet it was like a combine harvester or something. Fucking it's disgusting. That logo's a good shout as well, isn't it?
No, but like the fucking why have they done that? It's meant to be a fucking dragon. Like they said, it's a dragon. It does. It looks like a fucking warthog, like Timonum fucking Pumbaa or whatever they're fucking called. It's ridiculous.
The sad thing is as well, like, listen, I know, like, the problem with this is I'm the one who said I thought that, like, EG thing was overrated. Like, yeah, the new EG logo doesn't look good. It looks kind of generic.
No, it's shit.
But the problem is I never thought the old one was like some godlike shit. It was all right. But I thought it was one of those ones where it's like, no, that's how association works. EG accomplished so much in Dota and StarCraft that it becomes cool. To me, it was just a weird fucking E and a G smashed together. Like, that was just the equivalent of some marketing agency 10 years ago doing that or whatever. So I'm putting this in the context that I'm not somebody who just has nostalgia for everything old. But I actually thought the old North logo before this was pretty cool. I actually thought
it did the job. It did the job. Now, I heard on the grapevine that the reason they wanted to change it was because they felt it was a little bit too generic and similar to other logos out there, most notably Furia's, from Brazil.
That's probably a good shout, to be fair.
Yeah, but for me, it's just awful. I saw some dude on Reddit did a fucking better version, and it was really good. And like I said back when North first created, like you if you wanna play up that Viking theme, you fucking go out and you get yourself one of those like what used to be on the head of the longboats, the Viking longboats when they used to come over, and you do that. And apparently that's what they've done. It's just to pick the goofiest, shittest one of all time. Well, like all the Vikings with overbites were on that fucking boat, evidently. It's just awful. It's just a really bad logo. And again, it shows how fucking Redditors are just fucking weird. There was people, because everyone's a contrarian on Reddit, people were actually advocating and saying that is a good logo. It absolutely isn't. It's terrible. And it's in line with all these shit rebrands. It's like, just elongate him just a little bit and it's fine. Get rid of the teeth. It's all you have to do.
That's the part I don't get, is if you actually take the teeth off, I can see what they're going for. It's like they've taken the same kind of style, but they made it a dragon instead of a lion. Okay.
Yeah. Like exactly. That. So I hope they do it. Here's the weird thing that they did with the with this rebrand or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's not even a rebrand, is it? They've just changed the logo. Still called North, still got the same lineup essentially. Brought MSL back, it wasn't really, they announced an Apex Legends team as well on the same day. They're like, big announcements to come. That $3 million league, that's boom and bust here today and gone tomorrow for the game that was meant to be a Fortnite killer. Killed it for a week and then no cunt plays it. We're going to be in that league. Brilliant. Yeah, good one. You've set the world alight.
Oh, and they also did literally do one of the worst angles of a rebrand, which is when people saw that they were doing the rebrand and that they'd gone away, or that they might be doing a rebrand. And then when Kirby did that like sad face, people were like, oh my God, have they changed the lineup? So then when they didn't, and it was just MSL plus the old players, like on a rebrand, you want like a new sense about the club, like new energy. What every fan, even of North, did is go, same players though. Shame.
Yeah, I know, yeah. That was the thing.
I know.
Their big announcement was that fucking Kierby had fucking re-signed. He was staying. It's like, that's not an announcement, is it? That's actually makes you think, what? There was actually a chance he would have gone. Like, fucking hell. That's actually bad. But anyway.
Big news about Solskjaer. Signed for 10 years.
Yeah.
Sound. All right, then. Brilliant. Yeah.
But the weird part was that, right, keep in mind, one of the things that is, like, worth its weight in gold in esports, because it's a young industry, is history and pedigree. You can't manufacture that. You can't synthesize that. You were either around 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, or you weren't. And North have been around, like, what, 3 years? They've been slowly and steadily building up a history of sorts. They deleted it all. They deleted all their tweets,
stupid, yeah.
deleted all their Instagram, deleted some of their video content. It's like, what the fuck have you done that for? You can't get that back. So you've literally reset from so now you are just North with the big teeth, right? Fucking starting at zero. What have you done? Why? What's the fucking point in that? So I don't understand why you would delete content years worth as part of a rebrand. Like, what were you trying to get away from?
That it's like they took the concept of rebrand too far. Like, first of all, it's the same fucking brand. You've just changed the logo. Like you said, it's North. But like, rebranding doesn't mean you delete your history. Like, if they make a new Coke logo, they just delete all the classic shit, do they? Can
you imagine if EG had done that? Can you imagine if they come out and went, right, well, instead of a logo, we've just got a really big V, right, in words on a background. And to celebrate us doing that, we're deleting the entire history of the organization. Forget all those TIs that we were great at, and forget all the great StarCraft players we have. We're just all gone. It's irrelevant now. We've got a big V. You go fucking crazy. You wouldn't even believe it. So I don't know why North did it, like. But I think the rebrand is shite, and I think the announcement was shite. But I do think MSL coming back into the team is good. So
one thing I will say, by the way, just as a side topic, I'm not going to go into this much.
I do like a good side topic on this.
I did think one of the stupidest. I can't remember who it was who said this, but one of the stupidest angles that someone brought up. It might even, I don't want to say it, I don't want to make any claim to someone else I can remember, but somebody implied that, like, kept all the runes, didn't you? You know, that could be associated with, like, the fucking fascists or something. Like, what sort of reach is that? No, Jesus. Unsurprisingly, that's connected to fucking Nordic history to me. What, so, because there's some, obviously, like, modern day people who are fascist in Northern Europe, obviously do go in for, like, the Aryan angle or whatever the fuck. That's not actually, like, that's not even a super famous connection, though. Like, that was such a reach.
People look for this shit now. It was like, who was that player that got accused of having a fucking fascist logo on their shirt? Because they were like, I think it was one of the Serbian dudes.
Oh, right. That would make sense.
Yeah, do you remember that? Was it Hunter? Yeah, it was Hunter when he went over to G2 and they were going, look. And it was just like, it just wasn't that at all.
Just something vaguely similar that they didn't.
Yeah, it just looked. It just looked.
Similar. And have you noticed, by the way, what really tells you what sort of person you're dealing with is if I said something like that and someone said, "Oh, actually, you're mistaken. That's actually a different symbol," I would say, "My apologies. Actually, I'm sorry I made that assertion and I was wrong. Yeah. But you know what? I didn't mean anything wrong by it." That sort of person always goes, and this is where you know they're fucked. They always go to the logic of like, yeah, but if I thought that, then other people would think that. So in a way, really, it is sort of like what
they don't even just they don't even qualify it with that much logic. What you end up with is basically, I'm wrong, but I'm never going to acknowledge that fact. It's like they just disappear off Reddit for a couple of days, and then they just slither back like the fucking snake human hybrids they are to repeat more lies at a later date. Like, it's mind blowing to me as you see comments all the time where people are just like, I am just going to make an assumption. The assumption's completely wrong. People correct them. And they do one or two things. They either just sort of like don't acknowledge that they were wrong, never apologize, don't even delete the original incorrect comment or edit it to acknowledge that it's wrong after it's been upvoted by other morons. Because basically, if you use Reddit regularly, you are a rat in a maze getting cheese. That's what the fucking comment system does.
It's not even just an analogy.
No, it's exactly that. You say the stupid thing, the other moronic lobotomized rats press up vote, you feel good because a number goes up in the top right corner of your screen, and you're going, oh, this is great. Like, fucking hell, like you're operating on a level of vermin. Like, you know, it's
You just
mental.
get fed dopamine.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like, yeah, if that's triggering your dopamine response, like you're fucking mental. So anyway, they either do that or they just fucking repeat it later and going, and there was that time because they know on a long enough time scale, no one fact checks anything anymore. And it's like I'm of the mentality if I'm gonna say something, I think I have an obligation to like look into it, at least know what I'm talking about, at least check before I repeat something. And if I do repeat something that's incorrect, definitely acknowledge it at a later date that actually that was wrong. You know, these people don't do that anymore. It's fucking ridiculous. I'll tell you what as well, like just this doesn't even fit into the show at all. But I saw a comment, right? That's just so stupid. It just I can't.
Is that CS:GO though?
Yeah. It was on the CS:GO subreddit today. It's actually in the top
Dafties
thread,
of the week.
right? No, mate, this is exactly. Yeah, let's just have a new segment. Daft cunt of the week or of the day while the show lasts
Here we go.
for days. Here it is, mate. Right. So there's a player called Malta.
I'm already reading this. It's so
No,
stupid.
it's mental, innit? There's a player called Malta, as you know, and apparently he didn't have a working mic the entire game against Cloud9. So people are discussing that, right? And then this guy, Jonathan Cowfucker 73.
Already stupid as fuck, innit? And by the way, he's about to talk about people's names. Like this, there's no self-awareness involved. With
No,
this
I don't.
whatsoever.
Jonathan Cowfucker 73, and he said, Malta? Is that a player? I don't really play CSGO anymore, but this just really confused me. Is he aware that Malta is a country? Seems a bit weird to choose a nickname that is a country. Like, fucking beam me up. Like, who's this
Especially
cunt?
because it's like in that scenario, is there anyone really going? Malta didn't. What the country of Malta didn't have a working mic for a,
Yeah, in the
for a
game,
Counter-Strike.
I know.
No one's getting confused by that, are they? No one.
So, people are saying this could be high-level trolling. I would put it this way.
No.
I would acknowledge that as being possible if the standards of trolling hadn't been eroded over the past 10 years, and basically trolling now is just saying stupid, unbelievably stupid things. And then that's the get out clause for the stupid things you said.
I was only pretending to be a mess.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, nothing to do with anything that, but just fucking Reddit's just a nightmare. Anyway, we can talk about another one of our favorite recurring topics on
By
this
the way,
show.
I also just
Oh, go
love
on.
the idea because everyone always has to be right and have some angle that you're wrong on if you say something. They always jump to that, like maybe he was just trolling. Yeah. Which one's more likely? Someone on the internet said something really stupid, or they're actually really smart but playing some Andy Kaufman-esque fucking social experiment that will never be real. Which one's more likely?
I know.
I think the latter, clearly. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
always.
mate, you win, I guess.
Always. So one of our other favorite topics we like to talk about on this show is, of course, Smooya. We do like to talk about Smooya. He's an interesting character. You might remember him. He was the AWPer in Big. He rage quit Big before a major. Fucked them. Fucked himself. Stood in for a South African team for a bit. Then came back to Big and said, listen, we fixed it all now. Then he left Big. And then he said there was big announcements coming for his future. And we were like, okay, well, he's a talented guy. He could probably slot into a decent team if he gets his head right. And the big announcement was that he was joining Chaos, which is, for those that don't know, that's Steel's new team now. Joshua Nissan Steel, not the Brazilian one. And it has some sort of young players in there that Steel obviously is looking to develop, as has become his way ever since the iBuyPower ban that precludes him from competing at majors. But we have Smooya joining this lineup. So the lineup is Steel, Cam, Ben, Leet, 1337 that is, Whippy, and Smooya. It's kind of it's a strange move. It's not one I would have expected. When Smooya was talking about joining NA teams and saying he was willing to play anywhere in the world, and that kind of suggests that you're gonna go and join maybe a Cloud9 that we know have kind of fallen from grace and fallen on hard times and aren't picking up top tier teams
Gen G
anymore.
or something. There's a bunch of big
or a
orgs
Gen
looking for players.
G or
TSM's new lineup.
yeah, you in the I mean, he was linked with the TSM new lineup at one point on the rumor mill. So to find his way into chaos, no disrespect to Steel, obviously, who I think is still a top tier competitor by every stripe and still one of the best in-game leaders the game has ever had. Actually, it's just unfortunate the trajectory his career took. But this is kind of an underwhelming lineup to see Smooya play on. And it's not even clear if they're going to be attached to any of these leagues or any competitions outside of the Mountain Dew League, which they're going to be starting in, the ESEA 30.
Luckily, that got a lot more competitive today. So.
Yeah, true. Which we'll come to.
Here's the thing I have about that is like, this will sound mad because people obviously think I'm some like hater of Smooya's, must think he's shit or whatever. And I've always acknowledged he had talent as a player. This is one of those scenarios where I find out actually, despite everyone when Big had their nice run saying lovely things about him publicly and all pretending they think he's good, apparently the rest of the community think he's way worse than I do. Like, I agree. I assumed he would be in like Gen G's new team or TSM's or, a squad with a big name and some money behind it and a few pieces. And if you get good, he goes somewhere. Like, the idea he's ended up in this team suggests that nobody fucking wanted him. That was the best place he could go. On a side note as well, on the whole Steel angle, right? Just look around the scene. Swag sort of tried a bit, and he still tries a bit every now and then, but he knows he's never going to make it, so he kind of just does what he does, and he's clearly not going super hard. Dazed quit immediately. AZK did Overwatch for a while, then briefly was going to do some basically hasn't put much effort in. I tell you what, the fact that Steel still tries now, remember, I think he got banned now, 2 years ago or something? Yeah. The fact he's still plugging away, he's still going, he's still working, he actually puts in his hours in his team. If this guy continues, he's probably never going to get unbanned, sadly, with the way that Valve is. So that's probably never going to happen. So that dream isn't available. And at the moment, with the way CS is, sadly, you're not going to be in too many of the big tournaments if you're not in the majors because everyone's still just getting guns for the majors. But I will say, if he puts together 5 years in a row where he's this IGL who develops talent and takes people and still puts in the hard yards and performs, quite frankly, at a level that's way beyond the Call of Duty for where you are, I actually think this is a guy who that alone will make him a legendary figure in the game. He would be the equivalent of, when they'll make a 30 for 30 or something about the best special teams player ever in the NFL. And it's someone where, look, you're in special teams. You're never going to be the MVP of the fucking league. But the fact that you're some baller player like that means you actually had some insane value. You had a cool, unique storyline to his career. So this is a guy where he's primed for a documentary in a few years of the guy who existed outside the system or something. It's actually a cool story in this way. I've got to say, mad props to him for keeping plugging away.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and you're right. Unfortunately, the issue you've got is that if it was ever going to happen for him with the majors, you would need Valve to get their shit together now, this year, essentially. It's been 5 years. It still seems insane to me that they're banned. We still could salvage something from this. It's too late for Dazed. It's probably too late for AZK. But Swag and Steel, if they were unbanned tomorrow, would still be relevant at the top level of the NA scene. And it's, with all of these new things that are going on and all these new developments and the huge evolution that's gone forward, it still seems to me unthinkable that Valve are going to stand by this ridiculous, draconian, one-time offense, a lifetime ban, not even an appeal process in place.
If you're in prison, even if you did some heinous shit like murdered people, good behavior in prison still counts to the potential. If you ever have a chance to get parole, the good behavior is what will tip them over. I'm not just saying he didn't just play the game. I said, I don't know whether Swag really cares about being pro again or not. I don't even know if he would be that more than if he did go pro. But I'll tell you what, Steel, just with the efforts that he's done to improve the NA scene and the love he showed for the game of Counter-Strike, that should count on your behalf at some point in time. That's got to mean something. It means something to me.
Yeah, absolutely. But and we banged on about it so much on the show. It's just listen, Valve haven't even sort of had the, for want of a better word, decency to come out and just say listen, we don't want them at the majors, but that doesn't mean anyone else in the scene has to mirror that. That's our standard. I know when we were at E-League, we mirrored because we had such a close working relationship. with Valve, we mirrored their ban list. So all the people that were banned for match fixing and the VAC bans and everything else, they couldn't compete at E-League because we wanted to get the majors. We worked with Valve. We considered them business partners. They were very active. They were often in the studios and around the studios and in the venues when we were doing things. That was just the nature of it. All Valve would need to do is just put a statement out saying that, you know, minors and majors, that's our domain, even when we work with a partner. But nobody else should ever feel pressured into mirroring our bans. If they'd done that a few years ago, that could have given these guys very different career paths, better career paths. You know, Steel's kind of been out there in the wilderness, raising these teams, playing with teams that have no aspirations to go into majors. Brax got super demotivated because who could blame him? You went from being the hot prospect in NA to just being told, listen, you're 21, you're fucking washed up, it's over for you. You're never going to play at the highest level. So he plugged away for a little while, perhaps more so than you would expect a young guy to do. It's just 5 years is long enough, man. And I feel like we're not even in the same scene. I feel like we're not even in the same scene anymore. People, you know, like Valve need to acknowledge their contribution, by the way, to the throwing problem. Valve have never done that. Valve have never put their hands up and gone, yeah, we did allow all them fucking skin casinos, didn't we? We didn't shut that down early.
Mate, let's be real. It's a provable fact that if you hadn't literally given them proof, like ironclad proof, they also would have let the iBuyPower guys probably skate.
Yeah, and this is the madness of it.
The problem that would have existed.
You know, it's crazy to me to even think about how hard in the paint I had to go to do something that if we just like, okay, my reputation would have took a hit. I'd have really struggled to sort of come back from that in credibility terms. If Valve hadn't have issued the ban, because there were so many morons that told me I was making it up for relevancy and blah blah blah. If Valve hadn't issued the ban and we'd sort of all agreed, like, yeah, let's just leave it here, put a pin in it. The only evidence that's gone out at this point is a Shazam chat log and a Shazam statement, which people will just discredit immediately because it's Shazam.
Be real. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it probably meant I wouldn't have been breaking stories in CS anymore, at least. And much like the Loader thing, and much like the Breitbart thing, that's something I would have to listen to as being one of my great sins and one of my points of ridicule for the rest of my life, for the rest of my time in esports. That being said, I think that's a price I would have paid for a sensible outcome. Because this, I've said it many times, this isn't sensible. This isn't sensible at all. The reality is, had I not sent the unquestionable evidence over to Valve, they would have just been banned from CEVO, probably for a year. Yeah. So we've really ramped it up, haven't we? We've gone from just take the slap on the wrist to be banned from CEVO and everyone calls you throwers. And look what's going on with that fucking Simon team or Seaman or whatever the fuck they're called. Look at all the logs that just got leaked out the other day of allegations of people taking money. We know they're still throwing in tier 2 and tier 3. Where's all the task force? Where's Valve digging into that? It's literally out there. It's on forums.
No, that's why
it's on social media. No one cares.
That's why that is the saddest thing, is that as I've thought over the years, through all the motivations they could have had and the reasons they did, I really do think the reason why they will never unban those players is just because they are supposed to be the head on the spike that tells everyone else, just don't do it. And that's why only tier 2 and tier 3 does it. You know?
Yeah, it's like fucking Planet of the Apes, isn't it? Like, don't go into the forbidden zone. And it's just fucking this iBuyPower players just skinned and just fucking put up on crosses. It's ridiculous. In the meantime, we tier 1 people aren't throwing. You'd be insane to throw a tier 1 game now.
This is where, by the way,
on the line.
It's sad because what I would say, because one of the things I've always done, and I'm one of the only people in the community I'm aware of who's done this, is every time I did meet Valve when I was at a major and I ever was next to a Valve dev or they ever attempted to start a conversation with me, I'd talk to them with a little bit of small talk and I would instantly bring up one major thing I think was a problem. Like I would say something to them about like the way that they do the major invites. I'm like, it's bullshit. Like, this isn't a good setting. And even if they didn't want to hear it and they tried to fob me off and they just told me some answer like, well, I'll look at it when I get back or gave me a fucking business card and told me, email me when you get home, as though they were ever going to fucking read that email. Like, if I ever meet them again at a major, this will actually be the main thing I'll say to them. I'll say to them, these people have served their time now. Like, it's actually unreasonable. Like, at this point in time, you've made your point. You've more than made your fucking point. And it's not like them being unbanned will now make cheating cool. No one wants to wait 5 years. But, like, it's time to unban some of these people. At the very minimum, at least do Steele. Like, look at what he's done to the game. He has shown, like, a commitment to the game that is way above what you would expect for someone banned, especially someone deserving of the punishment you've given them. The problem is, sadly, I will probably never meet Valve again. Because as I mentioned at this last major I was at, it is astonishing how little of a fuck they give about majors. Now, they weren't there as far as I know. There was no pins anymore. Like, all the stuff that used to be there is just, they've taken that part out. Like,
I feel like we're going to get it back now, though, because of everything that's been going on with the game and everything that's been going on with Dota.
I think the Dota angle might push them back in. That makes sense.
Yeah, but so it's not just that. I mean, right now, there's a lot going on over there. I mean, you've had obviously the issue with Artifact, right? That tanked. They pivoted to Dota Underlords because for some reason auto battlers with a new fad. I mean, I see Anders on it all the fucking time, by the way, but obviously a fucking demented man who's on psychedelics all the time. It's an auto battler is probably brilliant for somebody like that. You don't have to do anything.
As far as I know, one of the main reasons he was into that was because it was on the mobile and you could just play it at the event.
The game. Yeah,
so it was a brilliant game or anything, yeah.
He already had a fucking addiction to Clash Royale, didn't he? So it's like basically using crack cocaine to wean yourself off heroin. That's what Anders done. So fair enough to him. Love him. But the reality is, they've had a big hit in the player numbers over there as well. I mean, so I think I saw a report the other day saying it was down like 70% or something. So they've had a lot of issues with the Dota IP, and now obviously, well, at least they've always got Dota in the bag. No, it turns out the changes you've made have really repulsed a lot of the players. Meanwhile, Counter-Strike had its highest peak since 2015 and is continuing to grow. So I think all of that means they should be paying more attention to what's going on with the majors and the major cycle. It suggests that they are, because they've made changes to that. They've brought in elements of the Dota Pro circuit, the DPC, with the ranking points and everything. We're not gonna have the shitty Legends system anymore. We are moving towards a system that's
progress.
Sort of, yeah, absolutely. So I think. Look, listen, Valve. Like, we get it, man. Like, it doesn't matter that you've been like a child whose dad went out for the fucking proverbial pack of cigarettes and never came back for 5 years. It don't mean we can't reconnect and hang out and go play catch
relationship
now that you're back.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm hoping that's what they're going to do. But it'd be nice to see some acknowledgement that things have changed. There's different names now. People have even left Valve, the company. They've got new people working on CS. So let's have some new ideas. Let's have a do-over. Let's just have a do-over. You start caring about the game to the degree that we would like you to. Everybody in the scene is trying to create a stable ecosystem without any input from you, by the way, and that will add longevity and value to your game. And, we want these players unbanned. This isn't unreasonable. Pretty reasonable.
Yeah, this isn't unreasonable. We want these players unbanned. We want you to have a good, long, hard look about players like Jampy and fucking say, like, is it right that, like, a fucking 11-year-old who shouldn't have had a Steam account anyway and got VAC banned can't play in a major 6, 7, 8, whatever the fuck it is years later? These are not sensible decisions. These are not fair decisions. Just appoint somebody to have a look on a case-by-case basis. Some people are cheating cunts. Some people have got away with being VAC banned as well. And Valve would know. They would know who's done it and who hasn't. But there's some people out there who've had definitely logged into VAC banned accounts who are playing pro.
That's also the craziest thing about that whole cheating angle. Is what really fucks you is that you cheat on an account when you're 11 and then you don't even think you'll ever become a pro in any version of CS, especially not CSGO, until you're 17. And at that point in time, fuck, if I could go back in time 2 years ago, I'd just make a new account. Shit. Yeah. It's too late at that point in time because by the time you get close to the level, by the way, if anyone doesn't know this, I'll just say it right now. Like, it isn't Valve finding out these people are VAC banned. What happens is, just like when that Infinite guy was going to get that trial for Cloud9,
Yep.
some little rat cunt who's in your peer group who doesn't like that you've got a chance, they'll just turn you in. That's what happens. That's how all these things come out. It's always the person who's the hater, who even though they actually are reporting something semi-legit, they're doing it for the wrong reasons, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's not because they themselves have a particular issue with the wrong thing you did. It's not about ethics or morals. It's just about jealousy and spitefulness. It comes from a really rotten place, and we've seen a lot of players get got like this. The reality is, you know, that you cannot judge the man, the competitor, the adult in a contract. You cannot judge that person on things they did as a child. That is a standard that doesn't apply anywhere else. In fact, actually, in law, we don't do that, do we?
Why don't we expunge the records when you become 18 or something? Exactly.
Yeah. You are prosecuted as a minor, and you are prosecuted as an adult separately. And there are sure arbitrary lines depending on where you live, where that is defined, but it is defined nonetheless. What Valve do is, and they've explained it to me in person multiple times, they have a belief that the things that players must be absolutely terrified of being caught doing is cheating and fixing games. And if anybody is proven to have done those things, it is a lifetime ban without any chance of appeal, and they forfeit access to all of this stuff. Well, that seems so draconian. It's crazy to me. And it's crazy to me that Valve seems to be a very forward-thinking company in a lot of other areas, yet that is as much intellectual insight as they've put into that. And it doesn't work. It clearly doesn't work, because if it had worked, then Jampy wouldn't have been cheating when he was a kid, because look at all these other examples of, you know, no, the reality is the casual kid player probably doesn't even know about the pro scene. You don't install the game and start thinking to yourself, right, I am on a path to pro. I must lead my life in this perfect, like, you know, Benedictine monk style way. I must never flame anyone on social media. I must never flame anyone in game. I must never experiment with a cheat. I must never do that. You know, fuck me. It's ridiculous. And not to mention as well, even more insane, we do this thing where it's like, if you have in Source, for example, people would use like achievement unlockers for TF2. You get VAC banned for that. Well, it's on the Orange Box engine, so you're banned in Source. So you have a VAC ban in Source because of something you did in a completely separate game, and that counts. You're just banned now. You never cheated in the game itself, but you cheated in a game that triggered the ban across all of the games in the engine.
This always reminds me of a great quote, that one of the hallmarks of tyranny is the removal of nuance, because that's why it's tyranny. There's just this harsh standard that is applied to everyone, and the whole thing about any rule set in life that anyone who's tried to manage anything will know is the way, like, yes, obviously a rule has to be a rule, but that's why you make all like contingent aspects, and here's the criteria I judge it on, and I can do a judgment call, etc. Because there is always infinite levels of nuance. Because like anyone knows, you can obviously do. It's different to cheat in a pro game and to cheat in an amateur game. It's different to cheat in a public server, and like I said, to cheat just on a server on your fucking own, just installing the cheat. It's different to cheat, as you're saying, in an achievement unlocker in a totally different game, and it is in a game that you've never played. Like there's got to be nuance, because this is a nuanced situation. The problem as well is, though, like, it involves caring. Like, you have to be able to see the human who did the cheat, which I have to say is one angle why Valve also doesn't get the full backlash, because every Reddit thread will always have those 50 guys, fuck them, they cheated, kill them all, like, reasonable. Yeah, like that's a great standard to live by, isn't it? Give me a break, man. No,
but it's not even about the fact that they don't care about the human, because they actually actively do. The reality is they're just not willing to appoint somebody to put this into their workflow. They don't want to have to make a hire for somebody that would have to preside over this, that would take them away from other projects. And it's strange, because they've made hires like Casey Aitchison and stuff just to do Dota things. Slacks has been working with Valve very closely. I don't know if he's got a contract. They hired Bruno. You know, they've never. I can't think of one actual. Oh no, tell a lie. Didn't Volcano work over there for a while?
Yeah, he briefly worked there, I think.
Yeah, and I think they had Jedi too. They offered Jedi a job, but he turned it down. That was the guy who made Zeblock. So They have on very rare occasions, but they still don't have like a community manager. They still don't have a commissioner or anything. They're not interested in any of that. Go look over at Dota. They don't have that for that, and they have an entire circuit. People can't even get a copy of the fucking DPC rulebook. It's just like, well, you've insulted the Chinese, so that's you out of this fucking major. But what about him? He insulted the Russians. Yeah, well, you know, they don't have as big a financial hold on us, so whatever. Can we see this written down in some rules then? Nah, we're not going to bother writing a rule book. Sorry, guys. This is just unacceptable. It's an unacceptable way to run an esport. Then I'm sure they know that on some level. They just decide not to do it. And I don't get it. What I would like to say, my fervent prayers for CSGO in 2020 are that Valve come out, reset it all like an Etch-a-Sketch, announce a glorious circuit with everything interlinked, start getting involved in these leagues, we fucking do something about the Krieg, and I think we're in for a great 2020, man. Like, we could really have all of that. Yeah. And it should be for everyone. Because just because Steel fucked up and threw one game for $400 worth of skins or whatever, doesn't mean he hasn't made an unbelievably stellar contribution to the scene and still does so to this day. I think it's a travesty that one comparatively minor incident erases the almost immeasurable good he's done. And Valve should be able to recognize that now. Let's all put on our big boy, pragmatic, adult clothes and let's fucking behave like it. You don't need to be a bitter, controlling, narcissistic developer like Activision Blizzard or Riot. You can be better than that. You can have nuance. You can care. You can be present at esports events. You just have to want to do it. You just have to be willing to spend some of your uncountable amounts of money. And listen, we're all giving you a pass on China. We're all giving you a pass on China, Valve. We are letting you actively stop putting games that show solidarity with the Hong Kong protesters on Steam. You're barely taking any heat at all. You're going to be allowed to make money where other developers are going to be subject to protests and boycotts and everything else. Valve, you are a favorite. Give us something back, mate. Just give us something back. And that's what we would like. Anyway, we can go back to talking about Smooya now. Smooya, also in joining this team, did an interview which I thought was kind of interesting. You can read this over.
Say anything good,
mate? He said all sorts of fucking crazy stuff. Let me bring it up.
Get emotional. Start having
well, so the headline, because HLTV do have a tendency to do a good job of this. Was I want to move to America and just smash it. I think he means play well. For me to grow the right way as a player, I need to grow as a person. And there's several like little interesting tidbits where he's basically saying that, you know, I was an arsehole in Big. It was good to come back the second time around. We actually left on really good terms. I got mad respect for God B, like unbelievable levels of respect. You know, I was part of the problems when we were playing bad, and I recognize, you know, that now. And he's saying that he wants to have no distractions when he's coming into Chaos. He wants to play like 12 hours a day like he used to back when he was on top of stuff. He doesn't want to go out, get drunk or party or anything like that. He just wants to be fully dedicated to the game. So it's a really good interview. I mean, the thing with Smooya is I've always felt Smooya knows enough about how the game is played that he knows how to say the right things, but does he mean them? And that therein lies the problem.
It's like the phase where it's going to sound weird because he eventually amazingly did transform it. But that phase when originally Simple kept saying like #new Simple, but you was still the same old cunt. It's like, yeah, you can say you're going to do it, but you also have to do it.
Yeah, and
it's like Scream telling you every 6 months he's back. It's like, motherfucker, you're not back. You're just saying the same thing. If anything, you're just fucking recycling. That's all you're doing. Who are you, Greta Thunberg?
Not bad. But anyway, listen, he's saying all the right things, and I think this is a bold move. I don't think it's going to pay off. I no disrespect to Steel or the other players on the team. I think Smooya is kind of slumming it a little bit here. I don't know if it's an inroad or a stepping stone, or if he just wants to learn from Steel because he really likes him and gets along with him. Obviously, you know, he'll have interacted with him many times. It kind of just seems to me that this isn't the right place for Smooya just yet, but he will certainly be a big fish in a small pond at least. So there's a potential there that he's going to get noticed, maybe get sucked up by another NA team. But
I would hope Steele levels his game up as well, and sets him right in some of the areas he's playing.
That is a given.
That's not a bad angle to be there.
That is a given, because at the end of the day, you remember when Steele and Kenny S had that little, tete-a-tete, when I think it was he said something at the summit when he was on the couch. Steele criticized Kenny S doing these stupid repeats. The reality is Kenny S is still one of the best players in the world, but Steele is right. And you feel if Kenny S could sort of listen to someone like Steele, he'd be a better player for it. So that's the level of insight somebody like Steele has. So certainly you can make a better player out of Smooya if Smooya is receptive to it. So I hope it works out, man. I hope they end up somewhere good, not just Mountain Dew League. I hope you see them on the road. Always good to see Steele. Steele only plays with players he respects and likes and believes has potential. You don't last very long in a Steele team if you don't have those qualities. So who knows? Maybe this KOCC can be decent, but I'm not optimistic that the team will be successful overall. Now, the other thing that happened, Hats. We talked very briefly about it. Hats has joined Renegades after we saw, obviously.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. For a second, I really thought I'd missed the news and they brought Team Fortress 2 style hats in.
No.
Oh well, Valve are doing a lot of good stuff. Okay,
no.
Everything.
Dick Stacey went out, of course. We talked a little bit about it. And then a lot of people were like, well, that's good for the Renegades lineup, that they got rid of Dick Stacey. He was clearly the weakest link in the chain. They all put out this incredible tearful thing like, he's retiring, but he's not retiring. He's still going to play. But apparently they also even allowed him to throw in the excuse that he has an eye condition. It was an eye condition the whole time. I'm amazed that Dick Stacey didn't go, it was a hog's eye condition, and make a dick joke out of it because he's a cunt like that. But he did say he had an eye condition. I don't believe it. I think he's just garbage, but whatever. But anyway, they brought Hats in, and he's a highly touted player coming in from Order. I still don't know why Renegades.
That massive benefit that he's not Dick Stacey, which is immediately incredible benefit for the team.
Yes, absolutely an upgrade. Immediately right out of the bat. But we did have somebody actually DM us on Twitter and sort of give us some information, which I took a look at. It looks like it's a pickup with some potential at the very least, and it's certainly an upgrade from Dick Stacey, but I still am kind of a little bit confused about Renegades mining the Australian scene for talent when, guys, you're essentially an NA team at this point. You can go and get some of these young NA players if you want. We all speak English. I mean, okay, Australians barely speak English, but you can communicate. So why not have a look out in NA? So it seems weird to me. But what do you make of this lineup, and what are your expectations for them?
I mean, the thing with this team is I don't know enough about that player to know whether he's good, but Dick Stacey was just a terrible CSGO player. There's no two ways around it. And the only thing he had going for him is if people liked his personality, and he was the designated interview guy. So I don't care about that. I never used to watch interviews of their team anyway, so that's irrelevant to me. I'm not losing anything from that. I do think there's some players in this team aren't half bad, and they've had some half decent results and some big upsets occasionally at LAN. So if this player can do anything, especially if he can contribute something, all of a sudden they get slightly better at doing some upsets. Now they could maybe they could crack a top 8 if they do a nice run at a tournament. It's not ridiculous. I don't think they're going to be a top team. I'm with you. The fact that they have an NA org means they, if anything, should look at what Renegades did the previous lineup and do what they did, which is pick the couple of players you want to stick with from Australia. Okay, cool. Now bring in a couple of good either NA players, or you pick up a really good European player like Cirque came to NRG. You do something like that, take a gamble, and next thing you know, all of a sudden you're knocking on the door being actually a real team, not just a team that could maybe get an upset every now and
then. So yeah, they're in action in DreamHack Leipzig as well. So I guess we'll have something to talk about on the next episode as to how well Hats has made it his debut. I actually, in my fantasy team is called the Dick Stacey Tribute Band, and I first signing I made was Hats. I am 106th out of 126th currently. So fuck him, I guess. He will become the next whipping boy on this show. But anyway, so we'll talk about that sometime next week. Let's also talk about Envy, another crazy clusterfuck of a team that has been up and down. I don't even know. Do they have a 5?
I believe they only have 2 players at the moment.
Yeah, I think they've got like 2 players on the roster. This has been a nightmare. DK did a really good kind of opinion piece about this. DK's moving into, kind of opinion pieces and editorial now over at Double Taps. I think he's obviously earned the clout in the scene to have an
respect
opinion.
for his process and how he did it as well. What he did was do content that was semi-throwaway, where it was just him like using a little bit of the info he'd already reported on, then giving a tiny bit of speculation or saying, well, maybe they'll do this. And what he did was feel it out and actually gradually build up. And now he's ready to be able to do an actual full piece or to give his entire thoughts. That's actually a pretty reasonable way to do it, because one of the things you'll know is when you, we basically use this show for it. You get so much information when you're an industry figure, especially someone who's trusted and has integrity, but you can't use most of it in your actual journalism job because you can never verify it, or it's just someone else's opinion. Like, for example, what if a really brilliant player tells me, I think that guy's shit at the game, actually? Like, well, I can't fucking report that. It was off the record. But that could be interesting. I could say, you know what? I've heard maybe he's not as good as people. Like, that becomes an interesting opinion. It can be reworked. So
some people in the scene don't rate him as highly as you might think. Something like that, right?
Props to DK for doing it the right way, basically, and doing it in a way where he hasn't made many enemies. I've got to say, he's done a very good job doing it. Meanwhile, there are certain people in the scene, I won't mention names, you can probably speculate, where what they do is the opposite. They get a little bit of clout from doing some news, and next thing you know, they're banging opinions out as though they were connected with everyone in the fucking scene. And the way you can tell they aren't is because half the shit is the biggest reach ever. Whenever anyone has to like exaggerate everything, that usually suggests they're making up for something. And then secondly, they always overstep the bounds of journalism and don't distinguish between this is my opinion and this is what I've actually reported. And they start blurring that line, and you never blur that line. That's one thing you never do. You always want it to be. That's why Richard even stresses, like, this is not a report that this player is going there, but that's the rumor. So should we speculate on the rumor? Like, there's a reason why you do that. So I think the way DK has even done it's the perfect. If you want a path for how you would do it from being a journalist to also be a content creator, watch what he's done.
Yeah, and it's funny because I get the same stuff over in Overwatch, right? Like, so I'll publish some news. All the Overwatch fans go, he's lying. He's got no connections. He's got no sources. He's definitely going to be wrong this time. This is the time he's wrong. He's never been wrong, but this is the time he's wrong. And then it's right. And then I'll write an opinion piece, perhaps analysing the bit of news I've just broke. And in there will be included things that I have heard or whatever, all qualified, all laid out.
I saw some comments, by the way, on one of your more recent ones where, listen, people are going to think I'm trolling or I'm finding next level trolls that are like some. They're not. These are people I've seen on the competitive Overwatch subreddit that are real. There were people actually posting real comments like, problem with this opinion piece is it's too biased.
I know. Imagine not understanding an opinion piece is exactly that. It's biased towards my opinion, you stupid cunt. Yeah, but no, there was a really good one actually. It was my favorite comment of all time, I think, because from the Overwatch lunatics, which just shows immediately when I say that there is a higher saturation of deranged people in that fan base, almost to the same levels of the FGC, if not maybe even more. They said this is a really well researched and well-written article. Shame that it is so slanted in its outcomes. And it was like, so wait, it's well-written, it's well-researched, and that implies that everything contained within is factual, but the conclusions it arrives at are wrong. Like, how does that work? How do you mentally process that? So, I see that a lot. But anyway, when it comes to the opinion piece, they all say the same thing. They go, his reporting's great. Same cunts who've just said my reporting's wrong and biased and will definitely be wrong next time. And they go, his reporting's great. His opinion pieces suck. They're so terrible. And I have revealed so many little snippets of information that I know in my opinion pieces. Again, all the opinion pieces have gone on to be validated. People don't even know. The reason I've been entrenched in writing about Overwatch is because from the moment I started reporting on it, after I voiced my initial doubts, people have been coming forward from inside Blizzard, inside the league, all levels of the game, and saying like, fucking hell, you nailed that. And did you know it's worse than that? Listen, let me tell you a story off the record, and boom. And then that gets metabolized into
same
my
thing.
reporting and into my opinion piece, and then somebody messages me again and goes, holy fucking shit, you know about that, do you? Well, if you think that's bad, let me tell you about this. So I literally have dozens of people coming to me, and it's predicated on the fact that they cannot believe somebody has been so nailed on with everything that's going in the league. Anybody that thinks this expose series I've been doing on the Overwatch League is false. This is all you have to know. Think about all of the stories in there, you know, stories about Robert Kraft and Bobby Kotick and how, you know, or how they were like intimating to Twitch that Twitch should give them some money when they got bought by Amazon because it was Activision Blizzard games that helped blow Twitch up. I showed that entire report to Blizzard, all 3,200 words of it. And all they said was, yeah, you're right about the business model. It's 50%. It all goes in a pot. They didn't refute a single thing. So what does that tell you about how accurate it is? And still these Overwatch cretins are clinging on to this idea that he's got a hate boner. You can't trust anything. He said, what the fuck's a hate boner? Is that what your fucking dad beat you around the face with, you silly little cunt? What are you talking about? So ridiculous, a hate boner. I don't give a fuck about your weird, freaky game. I don't give a fuck about you jerking off to fucking Widowmaker's feet. I don't care. I've never disliked a video game in my life because I'm not mentally unstable, you stupid cunts. I'm a normal human being, so I just write about things I know that I think you need to know. You act like morons about it. I do hate morons. I make no beef about that, make no bones about that. But at the end of the day, you're getting upset. This is for your benefit, you fucking bellends. It's not for mine. Have you noticed I've written about, like, literally dozens of games? I've broken big stories in Smite. For fuck's sake! You think your game is the be-all and end-all? You think your game is the one that tipped me over the edge and drove me insane?
That's the problem, though. They do. Like that at the end, you're saying that as if it's like a rhetorical comment, but that is the real problem. They really do believe, I'm not joking, everyone watching now who thinks if you come from CS, you know basically Overwatch League's on its last legs. It's only going to last a bit longer because the sunk cost fallacy exists in people's brains. And Blizzard probably like just stubbornly will make it last as long as possible, like WCS till they fucking palm it off. So if you know from other games, you're probably thinking, well, they must know the writings on the wall, which they sort of do. That's why when Richard writes the article, they don't say it's all wrong now. They go, well, some of it's right, but it was way too biased the way he wrote it. Like it's almost like they're in the stages of denial first, you know, going.
No, but it is. It literally is. It literally is.
Here's the sad thing, though. They really do simultaneously also believe that their game is the shit and the pinnacle of esports, and people like me and you desperately want in, and that we're on the outside looking in, and if they'll just...
The FGC said that about me. Like, oh yeah, I would love to go from hosting the Boston Major, watched by 1.5 million people worldwide, to come and do a Tekken tournament watched by 8,000 unwashed morons. Sign me up. 50 people in a warehouse. I'm in it for the money. You fucking idiots. There is no money. You don't even pay your pros. You fucking losers. Fuck you talking about? Literally, the teams that get sent by the biggest orgs in FGC, it's 5 people in a hotel room. They say, hey, Rich, do you want to come and hang out in the hotel room? I'm used to CS levels of hotel rooms. Suites, sofas, mini bars. In the FGC, you go up into a fucking travel lodge and it smells of balls immediately. Like, fucking, what's all this? And it's just 5 people taking it in turns to sleep in the one bed for the duration of the tournament. Oh, sign me up, guys. Sign me up to Esports 2004, please. Like, why would I want in on that?
By the way, that is one of the things that is well dark about esports, is that, you know, there's that joke that I know Joe Rogan always used to say, where he said, it's not that the apocalypse is coming. The apocalypse is here already. It's just in different parts of the world. It's like, you know, some fucking broken African state that's like the warlords and the fucking, everyone's got hyenas on chains and stuff like that. That may as well be the apocalypse if you see, you know, that's like some shit on Judge Dredd. Well, the joke is, esports is like that. Like, we think we live, like, esports has leveled up a lot. That's in our scene. If you go, like, I remember, I won't say who, but a famous caster that we both know was at some other event that was unrelated to like CS or something. And he said while he was there, I was like, what the fuck were you doing there though? And he goes, oh, I was hanging out with these guys from other games. I go, like who? And he goes, well, there was this one guy who was like the god of RuneScape. And I was like, I was creased, just crying, laughing, like, wasn't that game about 20 years ago? What are you talking about? And he goes,
mate, you can't even bag on RuneScape with these freaks.
How dare they even call us the god of RuneScape?
No, I know, mate. I know. No, there's some cunt on my Discord who like he keeps uploading screenshots of his wood cutting or something, isn't it?
Why?
I don't know. I haven't seen
I'm an epic tier wood cutting or something. It's like fucking get out of my face,
No.
like get out my face.
So unreasonable.
It's fucking mental. But anyway, so yeah, they do. They think you want in on Overwatch. Yeah, brilliant. Love it. Definitely want to be there for the post-mortem when all the Blizzard execs are going, once again, the esports community has let us down. Yeah, I really want to be around for that.
When Blizzard are doing that Skinner meme or whatever, it's like, is it
Exactly.
me? Yeah, exactly. No, it's the children again. Always.
Yeah.
the esports fans.
Yeah, exactly. You know, go ask, by the way, if you know, did I want in on Heroes of the Storm? No, I hosted a tournament as a favour to fucking DreamHack. I definitely didn't want in on it. I knew it was doomed for fucking failure. But this is higher stakes. This does affect everybody. There's no getting away from the fact that Overwatch, as much of a joke as it is, as a game, as a scene, as a community, as a league, it is interconnected to the rest of us. So I have to report about it. It doesn't mean I want in. I am not fogging up your window writing "let me in" the fucking breath, am I? Like I don't give a fuck. You're all morons.
By the way, I also want to just say one thing. I've never made this point. I hadn't even thought of it that much, but it's a valid point to make. Listen, I understand people's skepticism to any franchised league and any league that you buy into and anything that involves like potentially worse talent and what does this mean? And will they be relegated? I get all that. Like they're all valid concerns on some level, even if they might have been misapplied or very cynical now. But can you just give B-Side credit? It costs $2 million to buy in. That's actually a reasonable buy-in for a league. LCS, that's slightly pushing it. I don't know that you'll ever make back the 10 million. I don't know about that. For 30 million, 40 million, you're fucking mad. That's the more, to this day, I'll never get over that. Every time I see it, it's like being tasered. Like, wait a minute, is that real? I've even told some of the people, listen, you have to understand, I'm just this person. And at this point in time, people have to accept it. I'm not going to be the one that changes. The rest of the world will change. I've told people to their face that I've worked with me on other projects. You realize you'll never have credibility in my eyes because you bought an Overwatch League slot.
Yeah, I've said it to them. I said it to them. You don't know how many calls I took at the time. My phone was fucking blowing up when the Overwatch League got announced. And like, oh, we're thinking about buying into this, but you know, we're new. We got new partners. What do you think, Rich? And I said, avoid that. Like the fucking plague, mate. That is like fucking smallpox infected blankets in exchange for your land, you mad cunts. Like, what are you doing? That is not a good deal by any stretch of the imagination. And what they're doing is they're trying to leverage your fear of missing out, right? By fucking telling you it's going to be the shit. And the only way to get in now, it's set up like a fucking pyramid scheme. You know, the increase in value doesn't happen because of anything intrinsically
artificial as fuck.
Worth to it. It's only because the next people who buy in pay 3 times what you did. So suddenly your valuation is that. But if no one wants in ever again, it's all worthless. So I've explained this to so many groups and about like you'd be better off putting your money here, better off putting your money here. There's rumors it's only going to be 10 million for League of Legends. That represents infinitely
well, the joke
value
is
for money. 25
million is the entire buy-in of B-Site. You could have had all the teams in B-Site.
Could have owned the entire league.
Exactly.
So you know, some listen to me and went away, and some didn't and bought in. And yeah, the ones who bought in, I do have a little chuckle to them whenever I see them at events or whenever we're talking or having a beer or if they're out in Vegas. I'm like,
I've noticed what they've done is they started off trying to be bold and brazen, and they started off trying to make cases against it and say, well, you know, there's factors you aren't aware of. What they do now is just never bring it up. It's like that time someone you took a picture of them with the balls out on holders. They're just never gonna bring that. Never happened. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
I remember what you're talking about. I don't think I was there. I think you're talking about someone else out there.
Wait till put it this way. If you think the Overwatch League is bad, I'll give you this Overwatch. Holy fuck, the Call of Duty people got work.
Oh, it's hilarious, isn't it?
So for less viewers, less attendees. You know, didn't even know which platform you were being streamed on until fucking yesterday, till today, actually. Although it was heavily intimated. 25 mil. So 5 million more than an Overwatch. At least Overwatch was completely fucking brand new. You didn't have to sell out your existing brands and break apart your existing teams. And then it's like, you see all the shit that's coming out. Mate, it's insane. I'm just like, they had an event in a fucking garage They claim that they care about this path to pro. They're holding a tournament in the garage again. Take me back to 2004 esports. It's like SGL SummerSlam. It's fucking ridiculous. And then I saw a picture as well. Here, look, Sam. I'll send it to you on Discord. You can just have a look at that. Hang on. Turns out I can't send it to you on Discord.
I can't.
Yes, I can't. This is just from the stream for their event. Look at that crowd. Now, I know there's going to be more people there in a bit, but fucking hell.
That's like that joke, isn't it?
I could do a speaking tour now, and I would get more people than that. Like, give me a break. 25 mil to be part of this.
The sad thing is, the fact that there's no one there is somehow made more depressing by those massive like stage lights just flashing all over the place.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So anyway, back to Envy and Fugly.
Yes.
So yeah. So Envy.
Speaking of train wrecks that have wasted a lot of
train
money
wrecks,
and should basically have gotten out of the game a long time ago. Anyway, right back on topic.
Yes. So in this instance, it looked like Fugly was going to be joining Envy sort of full time. He'd been part of their roster since March, and
he got EPL'd basically.
Yes, and he was there with Som and Android, and then he played for a bit with them, and then the team started sort of breaking apart, and then basically Fugly was out of the team, and of course he did what every player did. We must take it to TwitLonger. We absolutely must. By the way, just a word of advice: if you got something to say, just upload a YouTube video, do a fucking Periscope, do an Instagram vid, do something. TwitLonger is garbage. I don't understand why people do it.
They might even write your story up better and make more compelling points.
Yeah, but it's not just that as well. It's like, so first of all, you can get paid for that content, by the way. You don't on TwitLonger. You could literally get paid off a YouTube video. That's what the Call of Duty people do. That's how they make their money from drama. They just, you know, it's like, we do, like, look at FaZe. This is what they do every time. Create drama, act like cunts, film a video saying, look at all these people saying we're cunts.
Everyone They're basically goes, the
you're
Logan Pauls of the world. They invented that shit. He just copied it without doing the stupid video game shit on the side.
Yeah, and then they go, yeah, you're cunts, and then you put out an apology for being a cunt, monetized, of course, and there you go, rinse and repeat. TwitLonger is a waste of time. It doesn't need, and let's also just be honest, none of you fucking players are Hemingway.
I know, it's mental. Isn't
the
it?
shit you write is so fucking
My
bad.
My favourite's when you open the TwitLonger and you just get hit by that wall of text, like...
Yeah, you get hit by a wall of text and then it's like contradicting themselves between paragraphs, writing things that make them look like absolute arseholes. It's like, come on. Like,
they don't even have a read over it before they publish either. You can tell this. I'm going live with that. That's my truth.
Nothing beats that Link manifesto, by the way. 17 pages of just stream of conscious, like, it's like fucking hell. It was like a literary experiment.
It was like the scrawlings of fucking Howard Hughes or something where he was locked away, like, then he did this. Like, he's going mental, wasn't he? It was amazing.
Way of the future.
It was amazing in some ways.
Mental. So anyway, I can read you some of this TwitLonger if you want. December 20th, I get another call from Nifty. No news about Android yet. Ryan has not been contacted from Nifty. We just talk about me moving and that if I am ready or not to commit to Dallas, which obviously is where they're based. I just said I was waiting to hear back from Envy. I messaged Envy the same day asking for an update and was told I would hop on a call with them over the weekend. December 23rd comes along, not the weekend, by the way, but Monday. Okay. And I get a message, definitely include that. And I get a message from Android that he has been cut. Weird. I messaged Ryan and asked if he knew about this because I told him. Not that weird, really, in the grand scheme.
Goes, well, it's not me, though, is it? So this all seems fine up to this point.
This is normal. Yeah, this is
like, has he never seen a horror movie? They all die one by one, don't they? Like, when everyone leaves the room, they're not just fucking going out the story. You idiot. I wonder how the story ends, which is getting interesting.
Yeah, no, really. It's interesting. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is interesting. This is where it gets really interesting. I messaged Ryan and asked if he knew about this because I told Nifty to talk to Ryan first. Nope. He just found out about it as he got cut. I get a call the same day from Envy. They say, it's the holidays now. We won't know about your stipend until early next year. January comes along. I messaged Nifty on the 3rd of January about potential players, which he responds and agrees that player might be a good option. He even names another potential pickup we could get. Anyway, on it goes. And long story short, Fugly just gets cut. despite doing all of these things that he supposedly said should have made him immune to being cut from the team. And the upshot is he completely blames Nifty for the whole thing. He ends it by saying, all in all, I was debated, definitely.
You've ruined all credibility. Like, even though you're a shit writer and a lot of that was just garbage, at least you were keeping like, it was like, this is my honest tale. I'll tell it to you, the horrors that I endured.
Yeah.
And I found myself debated.
Pepe hands.
I know. I was absolutely fucking pog champ when I got
I know, it's like, fuck.
so stupid. Isn't it?
I know. It's like you've just undercut the whole story now, you fucking mad
So you
cunt.
made it funny at the end. Why is he
know.
doing that?
I know, mental. Anyway, so all in all, I was debated for over a month, lied to, left on the back burner, and after all that, it ends like this. Sucks, but it is what it is. I felt I was still very naive even after the whole Sonic situation, where everyone on the team knew it was fucked, and it was not a team, but one person making every decision for himself, and no one else mattered, which the org is okay with. They want him running the show, as Nifty and Envy are very close. So basically, the story that's told here, the tale of debatery, is that Envy and Nifty, and this is true actually, because I remember Hastro basically tweeting out, like back when Nifty used to play COD, like, oh, look, I met Nifty when he was like a kid or whatever, because he was like a big fan, hadn't even started playing professionally yet. And he always wanted him in his org when he moved over to CS. They know each other, they have a good relationship. I don't know if this is all that bad as it sounds. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're given leadership of a team and you control a roster, yeah, you're the fucking piper. Everyone has to fucking, dance to your tune. I don't really see anything being so bad about this.
I did also, the second I saw this, look up his stats online. Because when he was in NRG, Fugly was actually a serviceable player in the context that he was just a role player.
The weakest
his stats were fucking garbage, even in Envy. So it's like, listen, mate, it's not like that's the part I noticed you never mentioned is your performance level, like were you good? Like you just made it about like I wasn't like told up front. So here's the thing: if your story is true, those premises are to be accepted. I agree, they did you a bit dirty, but yeah, it's like that scenario I've always hated, which is like if you indeed were going to be fired, doesn't really matter how they fire. Like the fact is that you're being fired. That's the biggest problem, right? And if you were fired because you're actually not good at your job, listen, I can say with you, I think it's unprofessional the way they fired you, but you still should be fired. So. The problem I have with that story is he doesn't really address that angle, does he? Like he makes it sound like it was only the Machiavellian moves of Nifty that got him cut. It's like, put it this way, Fugly. That was a team that had legit salary, would have let you move another, like lots of things going for them that are way better than the team's level. Why is no one else trying to pick you up? Why is no one trying to sign you for this? Because you're not actually a good player right now. Let's be real. Like you have to also be good at the game. So that also sounds like another thing people love to do, which is once you're kicked for being shit, let's just find every piece of dirt I can think of and bring it up as that's everyone else is a cunt.
Yeah.
Basically, who's that guy? I can't forget. Was it Uzi was the one who literally just decided, right, you've caught me, so I'm just going to dob us all in for match fixing.
Yeah.
Just let the whole world burn.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? I mean, there's not really anything too interesting. Envy barely have a team. It's just a continuation of mismanagement over there. And
what a waste of money as well.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about people wasting money? Envy must come pretty close. I mean, although
which is crazy
as soon as Hastro got seduced by the fucking dark side of franchise leagues, he was like,
no, but that's the crazy thing is they went from the first couple of years to being one of the big spenders. But look at the fucking results they got: majors, they were winning loads of tournaments, and they were like an epic org at that point in time. And then you look since then, they still kept spending way above the odds of the money for the lineups they've had. They must have had in the last 4 years like some of the worst teams dollar for dollar that CS has ever seen.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, how long did they keep fucking Sixer on the books for fuck's sake?
At least a year, I think.
I know. Fucking get me out.
And all that needs to be said is nobody ever really defended him. They just kept saying, did you know in 2011 he was... yeah, it's fucking 2017 now. What are you talking about?
So anyway, let's move on to some more org-related bullshit. Let's talk about the Na'Vi and Forza and Guardian and Perfecto, all of this saga. So let's talk first of all. It was clear, I called it, that Guardian would be out in Q1. this year. His position was untenable in the team, honestly. You know, when you consider the roster Navi has, when you consider they've got Simple, they've got Electronic, you know, they've got Flamey in there. Like, this is a team that really should be, battling away to potentially win trophies, getting deep runs in tournaments. Unfortunately, by bringing in Guardian, it could have worked, but unfortunately, he just wasn't up to the task anymore. And that's kind of how it's just panned out. That he has been officially cut. But prior to that, Na'Vi were trying to make moves to find themselves a good replacement. And despite all of the talent in the CIS region, it's none of the names that you would...
suspicious now, isn't it? How you can't get any talent to any other orgs. It's getting really suspicious.
None of the names that you think it would be. Now, the first name that came out...
It's not even the first 20 names you fucking pick usually. It's mental how far down with the...
Oh, yeah, ridiculous. The first name that came out was Flit, who's currently playing at Forza. Flit is a decent player, I would say.
Not even the best player in Forza, though. That's what I mean.
True.
You're having to take like
but he's 19. He's 19. He's serviceable. We've even said all you have to do is get yourself a serviceable rifle or put Simple back on the AWP, and Na'Vi can go and they're suddenly competing again. But basically, we found out that like a lot of these Russian organizations, Flit has a big buyout, and we don't know how much it is, but Na'Vi weren't willing to pay it. Now, what's interesting is that Forza basically came out and said, well, listen, no, we talked about it with the player, and he wanted to stay, right? So I'll read you their statement. There have been many rumors about our player, Evgeny Flit Lebedev, right now. We want to clarify the situation so all the experts and insiders couldn't think of new facts without any truth behind it. When Na'Vi management came to us with the idea of Flit's transfer, we confirmed them that we were not interested in selling the player. So the only option was buyout. I mean, that kind of, again, whatever. We'll get to that.
Do they know what English words mean?
Yeah, I know. Like, we were not interested in selling the player, so the only option was you must buy the player. Like, all right, yeah, you've got him. Checkmate, atheist. You've done it again. Of course,
so-called experts thought we were trying to sell the player. Nah, we were just going to facilitate a buyout. So stupid, isn't it?
I know. Can't be arsed. Like, anyway, of course, we took our time to speak with Flit, and it was clear for all of us. He decided to stay with us, to stay in Forza Esports. And that's the whole story, guys.
Even when we put the Kalashnikov down, he still wanted to... Are you for real? Yeah. Are you for real?
I know. There were no offers made and no amount named. There was no pressure from us to Flit or Na'Vi management. We are asking to stop any speculation and conjecture. The case is closed. Forza basically have investigated Forza and found that Forza did absolutely nothing wrong in this instance. Case closed. Vladimir Putin revealed as chief financier of Forza Esports. Like, fucking get me out of this fucking scenario.
By the way, anyone out there, if you're going to write a twit longer, if I've learned two things over the last few years, is start the twit longer with the truth and then end it with case closed.
Yeah, the whole truth.
I know.
And then, case closed. There could be no other fact or relevant information out there. You need to know. My side of it is all you.
Then again, though, I say this like it's laughable. There's always that guy on Reddit who's like, but they said it's not true. Like,
I saw one. I saw him in the thread. They were there. There was a guy going, well, it's very worrying that even players like Flit don't want to join Na'Vi. Are you fucking mentally ill? Obviously, he wants to join. Who wouldn't? More money, bigger org, playing with the best player in the world. Do you honestly think for a fucking second Thoughts came in the room and went, Flit, like, Na'Vi have said they're going to buy you. They're going to buy you. So you get, it's sad, I guess, in a way. We really like having you here.
Mr. Forza, please, no, let me stay. Please, I'll be so good. I just love this team so much. I love you. I love everyone.
I don't want to go. I want to continue playing with... I don't even know any of the fucking names of these cunts, actually. I can't even do the bit.
Originally, we were going to sell you, but then we thought it's wrong to sell you, so we're agreeing to a buyout. I don't know why that. I can't get over that. I just can't get over how stupid.
I know. No,
Again,
I still want to stay and play with face crack.
Probably one of the rebranded options for North.
Like, do you believe
that was probably one of the choices of the rebranded.
Do you believe this? Haven't you ever heard, D-Man? You must not believe this. It's not real, is it? You fucking idiots. Jesus Christ, they honestly think that Forza, who, you know, like, we got to the final of fucking Copenhagen Games, lads. You think Flip wants to stick around at 19 and not play with the fucking best player in the world, one of the best players of all time, in one of the most legendary orgs in the CIS region? You honestly think it's that case closed? Like, fucking hell.
Also, by the way, can we just go ahead and say this? Because this keeps getting lost by people. The clever thing about how the people from Forza phrased it there is I'm supposed to believe Na'Vi the org instigated this and then first went to Forza the org and said to them, we haven't even asked, none of our players have talked to him. We haven't even asked him if he wants to join, but can we try and buy out a player who might not even want to join and maybe our players don't want? This isn't League of Legends, guys. We don't have to lie and pretend that that's what happens. There are no poaching rules in CSGO. No. 100% here is what happened. Na'Vi players, including probably fucking Blade, because he's the mastermind there, probably looked at the players in Forts, said, well, we can't get Jerry. Maybe we can't even get the Exapower guy. What? Let's go keep talking to them all. Oh, it turns out the Flip guy, he's decent enough. He'll join, right? He said he wants to join. Cool, right? Na'Vi org, can you please get Flip for us? He's willing to join. He says he'll join next month if you can just sort it out. Like you said, there might be a buyout in his contract. Na'Vi goes to Forza. They go, listen, Forza, we can do this 2 ways: the Russian way or the fucking buyout. Well, you know, whatever joke I'm putting in there, you know what I'm doing. So then they go, right, okay, we'll look into a buyout. And then they go, we're just going to go in the other room and speak to Flit. And then the same guy goes around the door and goes, Flit, there, I want you to sign. Oh, well, I can't say fairer than that. And then he comes back around and goes, Flit said he didn't want to join. Oh, can I just talk to him? No. Just shut the door quickly. Right? No, he just, listen, we'd love to do a buyout or sell him or whatever terminology you use in English. But unfortunately, he says he's not coming. That's that. And by the way, he was never interested and he was never coming. And somehow this story's got to a credible journalist with all the sources confirming it. And literally, someone's making an offer for him, but there never was an offer. There never was no offer. And I don't know why there even would be an offer, because we were going to facilitate a buyout that never happened because we asked permission. So we are League of Legends, even though there's no reason to be. Like, the whole story is a ridiculous premise.
No, of course it is.
That's why at the end they say case
Here's
closed.
the question: whatever happened to
low
fucking
level?
Whatever
The case clause is just the most low level, like, attempt at like fucking like neuro-linguistic programming. Like, oh well, case closed. Then I guess that's again like, oh well, just leave it then. Can't be asked.
Whatever happened to the times where Simple was picking these players, by the way, like he did with Electronic?
There you go.
Because I guarantee Simple.
They want to keep him in that team, so of course they keep him happy. That's at least the minimum you'd ask him, right?
I guarantee Simple is not picking these players.
Remember, before it was officially announced Guardian was in Na'Vi, Simple, apropos of nothing, just said publicly that he might not need to be the AWP anymore. Do you imagine he didn't have a say in Guardian coming back? It's his house now. If he wanted to fuck Guardian, he could be spiteful as he wanted. Obviously, Simple was on board with all these moves. Obviously, he wanted this player. Even probably thought, yeah, it seems legit enough.
Well, no, this is the thing. I think I think it's gone past that point now. I think maybe when they were in talks with Flip, maybe Simple had some sort of input. But now, as we've seen, they've signed Perfecto, which
I'm mental, isn't it?
Which, you know, is a player, by the way, coming from that fucking highly dubious Seaman team with all this shit swirling around out there, by the way.
I'll give you the best way to phrase why, whether or not it's B-site or not, the economics of CS must change. Because it's gotten to the point now where some of the best teams in the world just can't be asked with these buyouts. Because you're buying out a player who hasn't made it yet for the money you should have been buying out fucking Cold Zero for if it was a reasonable scene. Like, think about it, right? MIBR, we're the most decorated team in the history of Brazil. God, more money than God if it's worth it. Oh, what's that? We'll just sign the 30th best player from South America who's not in MIBR. What? They're not even signing the 10 players that are outside the team that will be good. They're not signing anyone from Furia or INTZ. If they have to go that far down, then in Russia, oh, look, we're going to sign another player. Welcome our new player, Boomic. He wasn't even the best player on fucking shitty quick QBF. Oh, it's all right. We got another player, though. Flit. Isn't he on Forza? Isn't he like the 4th best player on Forza? Yeah, he's still on Forza. What is this? What this means is these teams literally think now, I'm only paying these buyouts if it is called Zero, mate. I'm only paying this buyout if it is a fucking legit player. Because who can be asked paying 3 buyouts or 2 buyouts every 2 years? That costs like fucking $500,000. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then, as I said, they end up with this Perfecto guy. This is a risk, I would say, in itself, because Perfecto's decent. I'll say there's some again potential there. He's 20. He's got similar stats to Flit, and but the risk comes in.
Assuming.
Yeah, the risk comes in with all this stuff about Ramzik over at that team, and it's brought a lot of their results into question. Norbert's fucking stewing. I mean, he's the best player on the team, and he's had it happen that once again
one of the worst
aliens
of all time. But fair
yeah, of course. With all written leet speak as well.
He's named after one of the shittest Eddie Murphy movies of all time in leet speak in 2020. Sound. You'll probably make it. You and Dick Stacey should make a team.
Yeah, so there's all this all this stuff going on around that team right now. Na'Vi could find. I mean, let's say Seaman do get found out to have fixed games, which is the allegation based on the screenshots and the chat logs that are out there. We mentioned it before, by the way, on this show that was what people were saying out there. It's pure speculation, but now we're starting to see more and more evidence. They could all end up with bans. Well, Na'Vi, you've just acquired a banned player, potentially, right? So why they've committed to this while this is going on out there, this shows like real bad levels of intelligence. And I don't believe for a second Simple has said, what I want to do in my Na'Vi team is play with Perfecto. I don't buy that for a fucking second, mate. So that's what's happened. Guardian's on the bench. I don't know how I feel about the move, honestly. I knew Guardian had to go, but fucking hell, you were expecting a big name to come in, right?
Well, like even Flip would have, I would have been mildly underwhelmed by that because, like I said, I would have hoped it would be like Jerry and be an IGL or Exapower to be an Opera, or I know they've probably the fucking now they're Invertus Pro, the whole James ship and Quicket shit's sailed, but whatever. I'd hope at least it was someone who was a name, as I was saying, even if it's a smaller one. That's why I'm saying if teams like a Na'Vi, teams like an MIBR, who basically do have their scenes on lock, if they can't get the talent, no one can. No one can. Absolutely. Yeah. You just can't.
So it makes me wonder what's going on in the CIS region in general. Is it like Brazil where there's these like insane buyouts that no one can pay and essentially indentured servitude or whatever?
I hope this is something that the CSPPA looks into in the future. I'm not saying you have to do it all now. You just started it, etc. This is something though that is a serious concern for. Now we're talking about good players. I mean, I'm not talking about the Simon one. I mean, like obviously Flit, etc. Like these are players that are like making placings in tournaments. That you have to start looking in that eventually. It can't just be about what fucking the top Astralis players get. It has to be about everyone. That's the point of a union. Like you're only as strong as the weakest link of the chain, aren't you?
So there we have it. I mean, I'll watch this space to see how Na'Vi do. It's going to be a while before we see the new team in action. But yeah, just I guess a very underwhelming time. I mean, this is the worst part about it. Fucking Zeus is probably fucking chuckling on his pile of fucking sports cars, isn't he? Like, because someone showed him a fucking 1920s custard pie fight or whatever, but not because he's got the intelligence or wherewithal to realise that Na'Vi is struggling without him.
While over in the corner, someone unironically rewrites sections of Gulliver's Travels as his new book.
Fucking Gulliver's Travels.
And he just goes, yeah, all looks fine to me. Put it out.
Yeah. So
anyway, you know what my saying is? Fuck these kids in their money.
So anyway, let's move on to the other big news. Back to the league talk, I guess. We have to do it, don't we? So ESL, B-Site, the Blast, everyone's having a fucking tussle, trying to get all this talent into one place, trying to get all the teams signed up. Well, ESL have made a series of missteps, which, in terms of public perception and PR, the most notable one is that they had 48 teams associated with the ESL Pro League.
Remember, the last few years, they've boasted about expanding Pro League over and over again, giving slots to other regions. This has been a big focus of theirs. And what angle does my boy Carmack always go with? This is great because it develops other scenes and expands them all. What's that? Money's not of it. Fuck them all.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that. Could you imagine the Premier League waking up tomorrow? Turns out, actually, we've got less money, so just cut the bottom 10 teams. They're in the new championship.
Yeah, and so this is basically what's happened. To put it in layman's terms, there were teams that had ESL Pro League spots that now don't. 24 of them, to be precise, and it's still not fully known who is who. Because there are some teams that may not have agreed to even be in this new look ESL Pro League. We'll come to that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we will get to that. But for now, there's some teams that, I think I saw Swole Patrol were an example of one. Obviously got some notable NA players there. And the way they framed it on Twitter is that ESL basically said nothing about the plans that were going on for the new look ESL Pro League for the 4 or 5 months that it's been in development. And now have simply put out an announcement saying, this is what our ESL Pro League teams are. And if you're not on this list, you're in Mountain Dew League. Enjoy. Which is,
I'll even give you an angle
completely unacceptable.
I'll give you an angle no one's thought of that's really fucking shady. Here's the thing. We're going to get in a minute to the really unethical big move of the announcement of the teams, etc. This on its own legs. Listen, I understand if you literally can't run the operating costs of the league and it's just bloated and out of control. Now it's all on land. There's a million reasons to why you might have to make these moves. But first of all, you haven't done it in a responsible way. There should be a fucking apology as part of this. You should have to explain very transparently that it really is operating costs and business concerns that you can't do it anymore. They haven't even done that. What they did was today they sent emails to these teams just telling them almost like a Carmack style, congrats, welcome to the Mountain Dew League, like that, literally just pissing in your face as they do it. And these aren't teams, by the way, who were relegated. These are teams who have spots. They've already worked through Mountain Dew League in certain cases to get into this league. And here's the angle no one's thought of that is really fucked, beyond just stringing people along and then fucking them last minute. Who knows how the Brazilians in MIBR became a top team? They didn't just go and start playing in majors and become good. No, what they did was they moved to North America, the fucking American dream, and they made it. They went there, they lived 3 people in a fucking bed, they grinded it out, and they got up there. And you know what? They're such G's, they reached back into the fucking ghetto and pulled out Tempo Storm. And Tempo Storm came there and moved into a house and grinded and became top players and made the final of a major. And then in comes these other orgs and there's other players coming. And now you've got 3, 4 teams from Brazil coming. What no one stopped to think about is this. I haven't had a chance yet to be able to run this down, but I'm willing to bet, and I will speculate right now, that some of those smaller teams that are from South America that got caught now, maybe Isurus, maybe the Daytona team, that some of these teams either might have already moved to North America thinking they have an EPL slot, or were planning to move when they got it. And this was literally their dreams built into this. And so you might have literally fucked someone who might have already secured an apartment, might have even moved for all I know. Now, I can't say that for a fact. It's not something I'm saying I've researched, but it's an angle no one even thinks of. And the reason I bring it up is that's what happens when you try and develop other regions. You've literally done the worst move ever. You're like the fucking cynical 90s people who came in with all the venture capital into all those countries like Singapore and all these places, and you brought in billions into these industries and the stock market, and you blew it all up. You made a fucking bundle. And then when it started to go bad, you just left out, you collapsed the whole fucking economy in on itself, and you just leave devastation behind you. And you don't give a fuck. You just go, well, business is business. See, no, what do you want about business is business? You said you were doing it to develop a region. You said you cared about those people. That was a developing country to you. Don't ever fucking lie if you then won't back up the lie later, because now I can hold you to the lie. If you just said, you know why I'm expanding into Asia, hope it pops off. If it does, I'll go with it. If it doesn't, it won't. I'd say fair play. It's even a smart business move. But when you have to give me the lie as the reason you predicated the move on, then the lie can be used against you later on. So that's one of the sinister parts about this. It seems like a very minor deal because, as I say, these are teams no one gives a fuck about. Let's be real. I don't watch these teams play, but I do feel for these teams. Like, the way they've been treated is totally unacceptable by someone who, by the way, I say this with no irony or derision, is the industry leader in CSGO. The industry leader in CSGO is supposed to lead the industry. So fucking lead.
No, but here's the mad thing about it, right? One of the things that we know, and this has been talked about, having an ESL Pro League slot, apparently there's some sort of, obviously holds some value. They're highly desirable, right? They're worth something.
I would even imagine we might even live in a world where companies that have any understanding of esports give you better sponsorship deals if they know you've got it.
Well, it's not just that. Players have earned money directly when orgs come in and sign them and say, will you be willing to sign over control of the slot to us, the org, so we retain it should we decide to cut you? And the players are being, because ESL has said, yes, it's their slot, you must negotiate with them and we will agree, we will not facilitate the deal, but we also have to agree and be on board with it. But I know players who've got money for ESL Pro League slots. So now, what you've done is, you've took 24 players that thought they had that. 24 teams worth of players that thought they had that or would have that, or if it was relevant to them. You've also took 24 orgs that thought they had that, had some sort of intrinsic value in their slot that they could use to secure sponsors or whatever else it is, and you've just fucked over 24 teams. That's insane. We all know the Mountain Dew League isn't as fucking... It's not comparative to the ESL Pro League. And in fact, so much so, how many times have your top business partners like Virtus Pro, ESL have even bent the rules to try and keep Virtus Pro out of the Mountain Dew League. And when teams have been relegated and had to go in it, they go, fuck this. We're just out. We're just not going to play in your league.
Yeah.
And what's hilarious is some of the teams that have said, not many, but some of the teams that have treated the Mountain Dew League with absolute derision, had no respect for the founding principles of you have to earn your ESL Pro League slot. ESL have rewarded them with an ESL Pro League slot over a team that was grinding away in Mountain Dew League thinking that they were going to get their shot. Or had just made it into the ESL Pro League. So this is an awful look.
And by the way, there's another thing I'll add in. So the whole principle of ESL Pro League for the last few years, I actually respected this, even though I always thought it was commercial suicide in a world in which you have to have the top teams to have interest. The reason why there've been a bunch of ESL Pro League events that weren't actually as good as some of the other events is because you had teams like Vitality and Furia weren't in it. They were some of the best teams in the rest of the world, but the problem is you couldn't invite them because it's an actual system like the English Premier League and the Championship. Like, you can't just say this team in Division 2 looks banging, you're invited to the Premier League. No, because the whole system is that's unfair to the Championship teams, isn't it? So one of the things I respected about ESL with ESL Pro League is they stuck to their guns on that. And if you... I know that, as you're saying, they definitely, for the VP and people like that, tried to bend the rules to get you not eliminated.
Absolutely, yeah.
In terms of teams that were brand new orgs, you still had to make your way up. The idea that this new league is invites, and they're just inviting whoever they please, and as a result, taking away people's earned spots, that is outrageous. That's really outrageous. That literally spits in the face of the entire legacy of the league.
And let's be clear, some of these teams, there's no precedent, there's no rhyme or reason for them being there.
Some outrageous ones.
OG has an exciting team, but what have they done? They've been to one event, and everyone's bending over backwards to basically roll out the red carpet for them to be involved in these leagues.
By the logic of EPL in the past, they are 100% a team that should have to earn their way through MDL.
Of course, absolutely.
Vitality did, so they should have to. Vitality was one of the best fucking teams in the world when they were doing that.
So think about it. You've got OG that just waltz in. Fucking godsend.
That's mental, isn't it? Imagine being a team that got taken out and now Godsent was put in. I bet there's teams that I'll bet there's teams that have beaten Godsent on LAN that got removed from EPL. I'll have to look it up, but I imagine that's probably even true.
No, but think about this. So Hellraisers and Big should have been in Season 11. They ain't. Sprout, Spirit, I think there was someone else. Anyway, they had to play relegation. And they could have been in the Pro League. And now, not only are they not in, they're now further away from being in than they were last season. And teams who didn't participate in the process, or teams like Virtus Pro and ENCE, who literally said, fuck that Mountain Dew League, we're better than that. Just, hey, come right back. Just come right back in. It's unbelievable. Big especially, Havu, there's another one there. Big especially are a team that have been absolutely fucking rinsed in this. Think about it as well. Think about Big when they were invited to ESL Cologne and the run they had, and everybody was like, no. And ESL were happy to cynically use them to get the crowd up and to make sure that they had, a good attendance in the group stages. Meanwhile, what's your reward? You win in the you're not in EPL, by the way. Fuck you. You were literally going to compete in this, and you've got your spots gone. So, I might have got it wrong, actually. People in the chat saying Spirit and Havu actually had slots as well, and they were taken away from them. So this is an outrage. This is a legitimate outrage. And unless ESL are going to say we're going to offer some sort of in the Premier League, if you got kicked out of the Premier League, you get like a parachute payment at least.
Of course. They
give you some fucking money to make up for it. So I hope they're doing something like that, because otherwise, you've just literally you have set back these organizations almost irreparably on a financial level, on a competitive level. It's just not good enough. And then you get to the madness of DK reported they did their announcement, went out on Instagram, went out on Twitter. They said, here are the 24 invited teams. Slight problem. None of these teams have officially accepted, according to a report by DK.
He has an update in it where he says that NIP claim they will play it, but even
NIP have tweeted out saying they are. I think we can safely say Astralis is there.
We'll see on that.
Well, let's do it then. Glaive tweeted out a picture of an ESL photograph of him coming through an ESL crowd. It had the ESL Pro League logo in it on someone's shirt. People have made assumptions about that.
I think that's gamesmanship, personally. Put it this way, I'll just tell you this.
Sure.
The whole reason I think this was rushed out was to get something out there that suggests they're close to signing everyone, to make fence sitters just think, well, I'll go with the crowd and sign. Oh, I know they put us on there as well. We haven't signed, but fuck, if some of the others have signed, let's just do it anyway. Because the key thing someone made a point of, it was actually Striker from HLTV.org, so I'll give him credit for this, is anyone, first of all, the amount of people in the community who were so stupid that they were invited, oh my God, they've got all the teams. It's just get the fuck out of this community. You can't even read. You literally can't even read. You wouldn't even be able to handle where's Spot. You just go, where's Spot? What the fuck, where's Spot? Exactly. But Malta, you're that guy. So first of all, invited doesn't mean they've come. But here's the reason why here's the reason why I bring that up. Because the reason why that tricked you and you thought, oh, invited, is because the precedent that ESL has set in the past. Listen, when those Chinese events that might not be real, they did this recently, do a tweet like, oh, and Fnatic will be attending our next event. And you go, Fnatic, are you actually attending this event? And sometimes you find out they are, and you go, oh, my apologies, fair play, you are. Because events in India and China have lied and said that teams were coming who weren't coming and had never even been contacted by the org.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why they're able to exploit that loophole is because when ESL says they've invited you to the event, you've already accepted, it's been confirmed, and invited in that sense means that it's a deal done. That's actually legit. Now, they literally preyed upon your assumption that would continue because it's been the case for, I don't know, the last 50 fucking events they've done in CS history. And they literally, in a scenario where they're not doing EPL again, they're now inviting teams to EPL, so totally changing what EPL is. When they're doing essentially a rebrand of EPL, they're relying on you to think invited means all these teams accepted and have in fact signed. I can tell you right now, if those teams had have signed, it would have said these teams have signed to ESL Pro.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't. Think about it logically. Just think logically a second, guys. You wouldn't pussyfoot around declaring victory over your fucking enemy. You would declare victory. You wouldn't leave any doubt in anyone's mind. And so that is actually an outrageous precedent, because what Striker correctly pointed out there is, let's be real. A word is literally just a vehicle of my intent and what I mean. That's the whole purpose of it. It's not to be taken and go, well, what he could be saying. Like, no, that's irrelevant. What was I saying? That's what you need to ascertain. It's not what I could have possibly been saying. So in this particular case, yes, by the legal standards of most courts, ESL didn't lie. They just said they'd invited these teams. But their intention, their clear intention, was to make you believe that meant they'd signed. You can't dick around on that and pretend like, oh, but I'm dancing around the semantic games. No, you're playing the semantic game to get a lie through. You are being disingenuous. That is, and again, this is another thing. Just go watch the show. It hasn't come out yet, I guess, to be fair. It'll come out in a few days. The show that me and Richard did with Dan Fiden yesterday.
Yeah, it should be out tomorrow.
Because I'm using a radical honesty approach to PR. I go out of my way at no prompting to repeatedly say things that ESL does good and things that I hope continue and that they are still the best and that they will probably still be the best in a year from now and that it will take us time to build up and we're trying to accomplish different things. I am not afraid of giving ESL credit, but this is the first time I've seen in the last couple of years ESL do things I think are not only legitimately unethical, but are literally corrosive to the ecosystem of CS. This is actually like borderline abusive behavior.
Right, hold on. I've been holding in a piss. It's killing me now. Like, right, I'm getting old. I've been looking down, like trying to get into the fucking magical, mystical place, like where it's not like need a piss. I'm just gonna go take one. So, what's that?
I'll continue for a minute while.
You you do your thing, Sam. I'm gonna kill my camera as well while I go, and mute my mic. So, can you bring up a thing over me?
Yeah, hang on. Don't turn it off. There we go. It's hidden. Just leave it on.
It?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Mic's off now.
Yeah, there we go. So okay, here's another thing. Not only, like, put it this way, if you don't believe ESL's intention was for everyone to think that they'd signed those players, right? First of all, you probably believe every fucking thing that ever happens in, like, I won't go into conspiracy angles, I guess, but put it this way, I have a general saying in life: when I make mistakes and fuck up and accidents happen to me, it's bad, ruins my life, ruins my plans, makes things that I wanted to happen not happen. People who continually accidentally do something, or I didn't intend you to believe that. People who say that and then have exactly what would benefit them and what would basically be the perfect thing happen for them. If you believe them, can you at least let me sell my fucking bridgefront property in Brooklyn, you fucking moron? Because it so obviously cannot be true, can it? Like, what would be the odds that they would fuck up and it would benefit them like this? So when you saw the reaction, can you imagine ESL in their office? Oh, you're not going to believe this, Ralph. What's that? Everyone on Reddit, even though we just said we invited the teams, they think they're all signed and we've won against B-Site. I mean, obviously we'd love to win against B-Site, but what a brilliant, unexpected... No, that was planned from the beginning. I think even the fact that they accidentally leaked it on Instagram, which then built the hype and people comment on Reddit, and then released it legit once they thought, wow, fucking this is swinging the way we like it. An hour later, released it for real. How many accidents have to happen? Like, again, you don't trip over and suddenly you're like, oh, I've just fucking landed in a supermodel and she's loving it. Oh, this is amazing. Like, accidents don't happen like that. Accidents are bad things that fuck you up. They wanted this. So as a result, I find that incredibly cynical as well, that you just toy with people's emotions over something that isn't even true. And the funny thing is, initially, I actually myself wondered, because obviously, by the way, I think B-Set's going to be 12 teams. I think it's something like maybe 8 sign and 4 come through the qualifiers or something. So I know most of these teams are in B-Site. That goes up saying a couple of teams are seeing their B-Site already. So I knew most of these teams must be in EPL. But I even thought to myself, maybe they've signed them all. Maybe they've done what famously Pat Riley did in that off season when the decision was happening, where he didn't just get LeBron or didn't just get D Wade or just get Chris Paul. He got all 3. He was such a gangster. He got all 3 at once. Maybe they've done it. Maybe they've got everyone. And then what do I find out? The most credible journalist in the scene, full-time investigative journalist, comes out with a report that not a single team has signed. And even the only thing to contradict his report is a team tweeting, we will play in the league. But even then, that's no confirmation of its contract being signed. So of every single team listed, None had signed. So they didn't even just stretch the truth or try to make you believe something that was like just slightly off. Like, we've got like 18 of the teams and we just wanted to push the other ones over. No, none of it. It was all bullshit.
I mean, I actually got back just in time. I heard the words tripped into a super bottle or something. So I'm like, oh, God, shaking it off. Got to get back. Duncan's killing the stream. Had to run. But anyway, no, you're right. ESL has this long-standing history of, how should we say, serendipity, fortuitous accidents, whatever you want to call it. And they've done this before. I remember back in the previous attempt at an exclusivity league, it was sort of announced that all these other parties were on board. Well, when you spoke to the parties, they were like, oh, we haven't signed anything. And it was ESL were like trying to, I guess, present that it's already done. It's over. The fight is over. There's nothing to see. You may as well go home.
It's a powerful technique to use for people because if you know how people work, like Prisoner's Dilemma, like fucking Milgram Experiment, when people think things are going one way and they're expected to do something, they're likely to do it. It's why one of the things, I won't make this too political, but I'll just quote this person because I think it's a relevant analogy, right? My boy Peter Hitchens, who I used to think was an idiot about 4 years ago. To be fair, I'd never read it. He was writing. I just came off the sort of waves presented in media. He has a quote that he says, where he says that the actual purpose of like publicly issued opinion polls is not to actually show you an accurate gauge of opinion. It is to craft opinion. What you do is you torture the numbers and the thing, and then you think, right, well, if I show that this person's 98% to win an election, either people will just say, well, I was on the fence, but I want to be on the winning side. Or someone voting for the other person might say, fuck it, they're going to win anyway. So I guess there's no point me even coming out, is there? That's the purpose of some of these polls. That's what essentially ESL are playing on here. They're not explicitly lying, but they are literally being dishonest in their actions. Like, that's the problem here. Like, don't get caught up in it. This is really unprofessional, in my opinion. And as I said before, I realize you're desperate. I realize this is your last gasp attempt to still control everything. But what's the point in succeeding as a fucking piece of shit rather than like dying with honor? That's a real statement. Like, I don't get it. Because they were the industry leaders. And by the way, they were one of the most legit companies out there of the ones in esports. Listen, there's a lot of scumbags in esports, but they were fairly legit. In fact, the last few years, they've made some pretty good strides in some of the things they did, like making legit invites off someone else's ranking, all sorts of shit that was legit. And they've now just essentially started to unravel all of that goodwill and good sentiment.
Yeah, it's a tough one. The motivations are very clear. The linguistic trickery doesn't work. It shouldn't fool anybody. And I don't believe for a second that some of the teams on that invited list aren't going to be in the B-Site League. I don't believe it. I honestly think it would be such a big failure for the B-Site League to not secure at least, I don't know, let's say one or two of those names.
Yeah, I agree.
That it would leave the project in a very dark place. But I also
I'll absolutely
know,
say, by the way, if B-Site doesn't get any of those teams and ESL gets all of them, then B-Site will be an inferior league. It will be a tier 2 league. That's just a fact. So one thing I will say is this as well, is where was I going with that? I'll keep going. I'll see if I can get it.
Well, no, so what I was going to add was that, but because I know that to be true, I also know the teams will know that to be true. And the teams that don't like really care, they don't have any strong allegiance to ESL or the people over at B-Site, they'll be looking at who can put money in their pockets, what represents the best deal, what will increase their chances of maybe winning a tournament and getting a bigger share of prize money. They'll look at all of those factors. Like right now, one or two will be waiting to jump ship.
I remember that point simple. I was going to make now. Here's the point I was going to make is that's why I also think this is like here. This is the point why I get why people aren't. They are mad, but they're not as outraged as I am. This is why I'm outraged, because if the things I've been told are true, and at least say one team on that list will be in B-Site that isn't yet announced in B-Site officially. I mean, we haven't announced any teams officially, but ESL's attempting to say is going to be in this league. Yeah. First of all, that is so fucking insanely outrageous as a move. Whether you win or not, whether this means you win and everyone else signs, and in the end, your logic is, well, I'll have been proved to have lied on one thing, but I won with everything else. That does not match up to the fact that you will have literally lied in action and intent about someone's participation in a league they will not be competing in, which they will not be sharing revenue from, and that might have implicated other people financially in that league, all at a time when you just announced a historic partnership with the fucking player union, which includes players from those teams, and that player union thus far remains silent on the entire topic, cannot even be reached for comment, and is saying nothing. If that player union doesn't come out and say something, that is outrageous to me. Because again, you should be saying something about the MDL players. You should be saying something about these buyouts elsewhere. You should, especially if it ever turns out even one of these teams doesn't sign an EPL, you should be making a public statement about that. Remember Glaive coming out with that tweet a few months ago. We have not decided what league we're in. This is outrageous. You won't, what, is this like the Starladder ESL thing all over again? You'll only pile on the one that's smaller, because fuck it, I'm with the big guy now. But you'll never go after the big dog. You're a coward then. You are the definition of a coward.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and not to mention as well, like, they might have actually played a little bit into B-Side's hands here, because there's some decent teams that they've essentially fucked over here to, you know, lay the groundwork to ensure having some teams that don't have the same caliber and pedigree, maybe don't have the same level of fan base. It's definitely interesting. I mean, Big leaps out immediately. I'd expect to see Big in B-Site now. You know, they're currently not even in the top 30 in the world on HLTV. Well, that's inaccurate.
I don't know if they've got $2 million. That's the problem.
Well, I think they must be able to rustle it up or close to it. I mean, what's the alternative?
Oh, I agree. No, here's the other
the alternative is be in Mountain Dew League. Well,
I should have said this as well. This is the
beginning of the end
as well. I know everyone can't watch the VOD yet, but if you'd watched the VOD of what we talked about last night, I literally repeatedly, even to fucking Dan's face, who is one of the owners of Cloud9, tell him his team is shit. I think they're bad. And most of the teams in B-Side so far that I'm aware of are shit. So as a result, right, I'm not saying that as banter. It's what I actually believe. But what's lucky is, why don't they discipline me? Why don't they say, Thorin, stop fucking saying that? Because luckily, all the mechanisms built into our league mean it actually doesn't matter how bad the teams are. Because the logic goes like this. If they do, as I said with the fines, if you can afford to pay $1.2 million a year, as well as running all your team, God bless you. I don't know where you're getting the money from. Maybe you can fucking buy ESL next. Like, I don't know any team that can afford that. So everyone buying into B-Site knows, even if I buy in with a team that I'm gambling on now, it's not that good a team now. If I don't make it something in 6 months, that's 600K gone. I better fucking step on the gas. So they're going to be paying big buyouts. And in fact, there's a world in which it'll even make buyouts more plausible, because instead of where you get the report from DK, this team's thinking of this player, but he didn't. But DK, that was 3 months ago and he hasn't signed. You are wrong. 4th month, he signs with the team. DK, dickhead, I was right. You know why there's a 4-month delay? Because they're arguing over the price. They both want him to go. Yeah, they're arguing over whether it's going to be 600K or 400K. Think about it logically. If I'm arguing over 600K or 400K, but it's going to take 4 months, I may as well fucking pay the 200K. It will actually save me money. So you will see big buyouts that will happen from players to this league that will mean that eventually either the project will utterly fail or it will be the best league or it will be an extremely competitive league. So that's not, I'm not saying I know which way it'll go. I will never lie like that. But the mechanisms are in place that in theory mean that it should be able to still continue in its project and improve over time. But I will just say that angle, which is like, yeah, absolutely. If ESL has all these teams on a competitive level, they have won initially. They haven't won in terms of how the execution of the league goes and the media. Like, yeah, that goes out saying. I keep it real.
Let's also just take a look at this tweet from Havu. Obviously, I've known Disturbed a long time. He's a really cool guy. We go fucking way back to the Source scene. He was a hell of a player. He's basically tweeted out a summary of their experience in interacting with ESL. So ESL saying nothing. Is EPL relegation teams? Can you give us some info about the relegation? ESL saying nothing. EPL relegation teams. What the fuck is going on? Is it true what DK wrote? ESL saying nothing. Also ESL. Bend over, dumb fucks. You're out. And it's hard to argue with with all the information that's available, that summary is unfair. It almost makes me, again, this is the sad reality, because as you said, I know Harvard definitely don't have 2 million.
No, of course not.
And
think about this as well. This is actually, by the way, you're right, actually. If you're big and you're the German team that you are, in theory,
I think you can have a whip round. I think you can get some investment.
But here's the problem. Now ESL's double fucked you, because they've also made it so you have to do that within like what, a couple of months?
Yeah,
you have to do that pretty quick. They haven't even gave you if they'd have told you 2 months ago, listen, I can't say who's going to be in, I can't say what's going to happen, but look, you won't be in, okay? And that's something I know already. Here's what people haven't even thought of. Put 2 and 2 together. Here's why ESL didn't tell them till the last second that they were cut. The same reason why in League of Legends in this last offseason, a bunch of big name teams waited until literally the final weeks of the offseason to cut players. Because if things went wrong with the player they were looking for, they still wanted that guy. He was literally their fucking rebound guy, essentially. It's like, if things go bad, just bring him back. So what ESL did here to a fucking German team, the best ESL, a company from Germany, took the best German team and said, I'm just going to string you along until the 11th hour. And then when it turns out I don't need you because I've got a shitter team that just actually happens to be a brand I'd like in my heart, but never qualified for my league, I'm just going to say, bye, it's been real. Peace.
Well, when you start looking at all of the disparate parts as well, let's go deeper in this. Let's not forget, we never actually saw ESL extricate itself from all of the conflict of interest that it was spread out, right? So it was obvious G2 were going to be in the ESL Pro League. I can't see them committing to B-Site. They're co-owned by Jens Hilgers. Yep. He's still on the ESL board. He still runs the Bitcraft Holdings. I don't think
that was ever even a discussion they were going to be.
No, of course not. There was never any discussion whatsoever happening there. But what you also have to remember is all of those WISA teams, the ones that were invited. I'm amazed that SK Gaming isn't on this list, because obviously we all know that Ralph Reichart used to be a shareholder in SK, obviously isn't now, but they're all still mates. Mouse Sports, we all know they had ties there as well. Plus, obviously, all of the WISA teams were going to be straight in. All of these companies are all owned under the Turtle Entertainment umbrella. So the idea that there was going to be some teams that were ever going to be allowed to enter into the free market and weren't going to put their brand strength on the ESL Pro League side of the table is ridiculous. And then when you start looking at, well, their preference towards Mouse Sports and some of these other teams actually makes sense, doesn't it? You would fuck over big.
By the way,
Mouse Sports is the premier German organization, if you look at it on paper.
I should have thought that, to be fair. You're right on that one. But I'll make a statement now that I think in the context of what they've done to the MDL teams and the context of what they've done to some of the teams that are, like, as you said, literally earned spots with partners of theirs, have been in their ecosystem for this long, this action right now warrants ESL not getting majors anymore. You can't be trusted.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a reasonable assessment in the sense
look how you treated it when Valve wasn't looking over your shoulder.
Yeah. I think look, the bottom line is this: there has to be something said. There has to be some form of reparations for the teams that have been fucked over and essentially removed from a league that they were meant to be in, and they've just undone the relegation tournament, which, by the way, those teams were contractually obliged to compete in that. There would have been sanctions against those teams if they didn't turn up for the relegation games and didn't play them out. They could have forfeit their spots. So instead, they have done everything that has been asked of them by ESL in a contract, and ESL have responded by saying, that doesn't matter. Your brand isn't big enough to push our league into the imaginations of everyone in Counter-Strike and beat off a business competitor. I think that's incredible. I think that really speaks to the direction ESL are going in. Yeah, Pro League. Yeah, Pro Tour. They don't give a fuck about the Tier 2. The amateur
well, put it this way, mate. I would say
sinister.
This right now. In the same way as I told people who were Overwatch League talent, as they saw big names go one by one out of the scene, I told them, listen, understand right now, even if you're still in Overwatch League, if they did that to the fucking legends of the industry, what are they going to do to you? So I'll say the same thing to every team that is going to sign with EPL. When you're locked into EPL and they can veto which events you choose to go to, and you can only turn down 2 a year, and which events you go to dictate where you go in their ranking, which dictates how much revenue you get and what other events you get invited to. If you imagine that they will stop being cutthroat like they just did to all these teams and be lovely to you, you're out of your motherfucking mind. You just signed your life away, homie. Oh, and in the meanwhile, while they're already fucking you, they're trying to wrap up all your dreams that you're now literally tied with them as an anchor around you. They're going to sell that to Chinese overlords who'll just pay the highest fucking fee. Are you out of your motherfucking minds? You can join it if you think it's the best league. Go for it. I wouldn't tell you not to. It actually looks like it is a better league competitively right now. It isn't in terms of the financial inducements. We can go into that in the video, as we say, when it comes out. But I'll just say this. I couldn't trust someone after they've done this.
No, definitely not.
I was
Definitely
totally cool with ESL until yesterday. And by the way, as I said, this isn't about them getting teams that I thought were going to be in B-site. Of the names on that list, I only personally thought maybe 2 or 3 would be in B-site as well as the teams we have. I already knew B-site was going to have a bunch of the worst teams and that we were going to build up the media angle.
All the WISA teams are in ESL Pro League.
Exactly.
The NIP, Na'Vi, Mouse Sports. They're not going to G2.
People. Yeah, those teams were never even on the table.
Yeah.
Like, I literally told people yesterday, my actual plan until yesterday, I literally had ESL tell me the events they're doing this year and ask me which ones I want to work. I submitted that and I would have worked those events. I can tell you right now, go fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck about your events. Shove your money up your ass. Shove ESL Cologne up your ass, you fucking wankers. I won't be coming. Don't bother replying to that email. I don't work with scum. You know what? You might think right now, but wait a minute, you're working with Blast again. Yeah, because I criticised the format of Blast and their conflict of interest. They have now no longer got the conflict of interest. The person who was the main liar who I despised does not work with Blast anymore. The people who are in charge are the cool guys who always were there, but they were in the fucking shadow doing the dog's body work while our souls took the credit. That's why I work with Blast. Same reason I came back to ESL, because I wasn't working with Carmack. I wasn't working with the scum fucks who lied about me and called me a racist publicly. I was working with different people who had respect and actually were willing to build a relationship up. And as a result, never asked me to do anything unethical. So I don't give a fuck about ESL anymore. I'll put it this way. I don't have to do another CS event for the rest of my life. So you could have every major till the end of time. I'll never work one of your events ever again unless the people who decided this are publicly named, shamed, and fired. It's over, homie.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, like it is such an insane decision, just on the surface of it, that I have to feel there must be more to it. I almost feel you're potentially inviting like a class action suit. This cannot be this cut and dry that you can have contractual agreements with partners and teams in your league and simply kick them out and tell them all those results doesn't count. The spot you thought you had doesn't count. We can do what we want,
and we want these teams. That Dan mentioned yesterday,
insane to me,
on the stream, which is one of the problems when you're a person in business and you know what something means in business, but the layman doesn't, and you think this is going to be straight fire, and then you drop it, and then it just floats by and no one picks up on it. Yeah. What Dan actually said yesterday that no one picked up on, it wasn't on Reddit, no one ever listened to it, was he said that one of the reasons they haven't yet got the B-site deal done with CSPPA is that they, at the moment, still have not been able to fully conclude investigations as to whether or not it's even legal to actually be involved with some of these teams, like US teams specifically, because it turns out under US labor laws, if you class yourself as an agency or you work with them in that way, then there's certain rules apply. And that B-site, the project, has already spent, listen to me, $150,000 investigating that topic. But that, as far as they know, no one's done that on the other side of this equation. And that some of those teams, they may not yet have signed, but if they indeed do sign, may be doing so breaching US labor laws. Like, the point here is, this is like we've gone back 5 years ago into the LCS. People are going to potentially do illegal shit on the grounds of, well, who's going to report us and who's going to look into it? Government don't know about it. That's no way to lead an industry. That's no way to have a business. Because here's the problem. Esport, it's not like when we all used to turn a blind eye to everyone going on tourist visas to America because that's the only way the industry could operate. It's supposed to be legit. When you pay your shills to write about you in Forbes, you are claiming it is real. You are claiming billionaires should put their money into this thing and they will make a profit one day. Then why are you potentially breaking the law? Why would you even risk that or invite people to come and start auditing esports? What the fuck are you doing? Like, I wouldn't do it, but someone out there is going to fucking dob you in if that's true, by the way. Someone out there will just go and fucking tell the US government, I'd have a look in that. You know, there's a team called something or other who come from the US who are playing in that ESL league. Have you looked into the US? You're going to literally tear this scene apart if you get that sort of shit done. Everyone will suffer.
Yeah. I mean, I know you had some other stuff you wanted to talk about. I just want to make sure, just before we start winding the show down, that if there was anything else to add. I mean, you know, in regards to the B-site ESL, you know, conflict that's going on right now. Was there anything?
I don't think so, because that's the weirdest thing about this. To me, this was so unnecessary. Like, as far as I know, their negotiations were going well. CSPPA signed with them, which is the sign-off that pro players needed to hear, despite the fact, as Dan Fiden told you, a lot of pro players haven't even read the fucking term sheet. They're just letting the CSPPA tell them that it's good. Most of them aren't even getting lawyers to tell them what it says. They're just going, well, CSPPA told them it's good, so that must be true. So as a result, like, who knows what that means? But as far as I know, like I told you, in fact, I'll say it right now, based on the information I had, the only way B-site wins competitively is on like technical grounds. Like, we were going to win like this. Well, we don't have the top 10, but we have like 3 of the top 6 or 8. So you didn't fully win and we didn't fully win. Yeah, you have overall more better teams than us and you have generally a better level than us, but eventually we'll get there and we'll make up for it with the other things. And crucially, as long as we have a couple of the top teams, you can't say that yours means that much more than, you know, like we were going to go on an angle like that and it would be legit. It was never the thought that we were getting all these teams. So it's even, in my opinion, unnecessary. That's why I say it reeks of desperation. It's so unnecessary the way they've done it.
I agree with that. I agree with that assessment. I think ultimately, you know, where you are going to win. You see, this is what I mean. It's like a series of battles have been played, right? I'm trying to think of an example of a fucking game, a board game, where it's like, you know, it's a series of rounds, and so you win some, you lose some. Opponents, you know, where ESL are going to win is obviously by having strength and depth in the league in terms of the top tier teams. I think that's inevitable at this point because, again, all of the WESA teams, I would imagine, certainly the vast majority of them are going to be just in ESL as a matter of fact. But then where B-site is clearly going to win is in the talent and the broadcast area of things, because ESL is scrambling right now.
I'd already tell you we've won that war. I said it on Twitter.
Yeah, no, listen.
Just from the talent we have announced now, they cannot match that. And by the way, we're not finished.
Yeah. And this is why I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone that's left doing it. Obviously, I've got nothing but respect for our incredible talent pool, which is like almost no other in esports, in the sense that, as I've said, you could literally assign commentators, hosts, and analysts to each of these leagues, and pretty much they would all be tier 1, the broadcast teams. But the reality is, some are better than others by degrees, and some are more popular than others by degrees. And I think B-side have won that hands down. You know, you get the on fire guys. You bring Semler back from the Overwatch League. Monte Cristo, first time ever dipping his toe in the water. What surprises me is, unlike the Babbies games, you know, Christopher's been fucking slumming it in. You know, everyone's psyched about Monte Cristo coming to fucking CSGO. They're like, I can't wait to see him tear fucking people apart. And he's going to be welcome to do that.
Just to say very quickly as well, you might think it's poor strategy from me to say, we're not even finished yet, we might still sign some of the big names. You might even have seen on Twitter, if you follow us all as mutuals, I've literally been saying to some of the big talent, I want to be in our league. Why don't you come and join? I'll fix that for you. I'll get you in contact with them. You know the reason I'm doing that? This is actually a selfless act, Richard. It doesn't serve me to do that publicly. People think I'm doing it for PR, right? But I'll look stupid if they sign with the other league and I've just said that guy's 1A in the world. But the reason I'm doing that purposely, publicly, is because B-site isn't my league, by the way. I don't own the league. I work for it. But at the end of the day, if this means that ESL also look at that and go, well, we've got to at least have some of the top talent, and they go to that guy and they say, I'll pay you above the odds or whatever they pay. God bless him if he wants to go for that. If he goes there, go for the best deal, mate. So in that scenario, either we win you fair and square or go for more money. But you know what? At least look back. Who got you fucking more money? Exactly. Just think about that for a second.
Yeah, of course. And I imagine, like you say, when you say you're not done, I would imagine right now Henry's the fucking guy in the big tug of war, like Stretch Armstrong. You don't need to know anything about the scene to know that's true. Guy that was just anointed commentator.
If I had the
of
money, we'd sign Henry G and Sponge tomorrow.
Yeah, of course.
Tomorrow.
And I was just gonna say Sponge is the other guy, right?
It's obvious, yeah. You can't.
But the
deny
reality
these guys.
is, if Henry G and Sponge come across and they're on the B-side broadcast, not only have you got all these incredible names, incredible talent, you've also took the staples of the ESL broadcast.
Yes.
So now
they've been ESL the last few years.
Yeah, all the people they've been tucking away on late night B streams and all of the talent they refuse to give IPs to and stupid stuff like that all comes back to haunt you, because suddenly you're coming out and going, "This is our talent announcement," and now we're going to find out what Counter-Strike fans actually want. I know most people probably do want to watch the best teams, but there is something to be said for the best commentators. We know this from StarCraft. People would watch any old shit StarCraft games if it was Tastosis, right?
Oh, by the way, one little note for everyone else in the scene. Some of you already might have never worked a proper big ESL event. You've definitely never been hired for Pro League, and you're going to be given an offer now, and you're going to be asked to work for them. Hit me up. I'll tell you about the rates. I'll help you negotiate. I'll tell you where to start. I'll tell you where to push. And you know what? At the end of it, if they force you to take a shit rate and they tell you anything dodgy, like, I'll stick this other shit guy if you don't do it, I'll make sure it gets out there to a journalist. Hit me up.
Yeah. Well, I even said this to the other night on my Discord. All of this is making me thinking about maybe coming back and doing some events, because I think there's like realistic space to go and do it now. And with everything,
it would actually be good in the sense that you could do what I did at Epicenter, where I thought to myself, I don't want to work this event and it'd be a shit event, because we would have had a no-name host, basically, which would have ruined the desk anyway. So I thought, even though it's fucking nightmare to be a host, you know this, I thought, you know what, I'll do it, because I've always wanted to see that Maui Snake guy get a chance. I thought he'd be good.
Yeah.
I wanted Hawker to get a chance. He was maybe going to be my analyst as well. So I thought, fuck it, I'll do it right. I'll do this one semi-selfless act. Not really selfless. I want those guys to succeed. I'm actually selfish in that sense. I don't want the people I like in the scene. So you could do so much for some of the talent that are out there that are on the brink of tier one. You could take those guys to the next level. A real experienced desk host or someone who's actually worked in the scene, knows the space. Yeah,
well, it'd be nice to do it, even if it wasn't necessarily an on-air thing. The thing that I worry about is, like, so a lot of people will say it's hypocritical. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of a non-weird way to say it. It's been very difficult to kind of articulate. Like, it's why I haven't had my stream on. But obviously, after Maria passed away, it kind of feels like, why would I really give a fuck about going to an event and having to deal with, like, a fan wanting to fucking attack me or something? Like, suddenly my safety feels like less of a premium. Right? Do you know what I mean? Sure. And it's like trying to articulate that in a sense, like in a way that doesn't sound weird or like you've lost your mind is very, it's difficult to kind of put it out there. But I wanted to say that. And then obviously the other thing is as well, when I did that interview with Sean Gares, and he was saying like, oh, when I was at E-League and you showed me the ropes and I got to work with you, and I was
That's important.
I didn't realize it had.
Richard. No, but here's the thing.
I didn't realize it had a big impact on him at all,
The reason why I know that's a big thing, because listen, I subtweet about this all the time, just because some of these people are my friends. I don't want to directly call them out, but I want it to get out in the community. One of the things that has saddened me so much when I would take my brief hiatuses from CS and come back every 2 or 3 months, I'd go away. I'd have a few months where I did a small event for mad money, but then I didn't get the big event invite. And I only wanted to do one event a month. And I came back for a big ESL Cologne. Or I came back for a big, whatever it was. The saddest thing when I came back, and it wasn't me and you with the staples of the scene and the other people coming into our world, is the new generation of people are fucking divas. They have just got the top rates. And now that they've got the top rates, they don't give a fuck about the guy coming after them. Learn that from me, motherfucker. You can't. Yeah. I'm not going to teach you anything. Just watch me work. That's their metal. Some of them, even the way they work, it's like, I'm going to get my lines off. You do what the fuck you want. Like, they're not taking any of these guys and guiding them and helping them up or even telling them, so, you know what, this is what helped me. This actually might make you get to my level one day, but here's what I'm going to. They don't do that. That's why you have to realize, like, people who actually have the mentality where they're willing to share and build community like that, they are so rare. They are so, you've got to appreciate them when you know them. I look back now and think of some of the people in my career who were like that and think, fuck, there are not that many people like that around, because there's a lot of content dilute in the scene.
It's a rare thing. It's why I always wanted to, take that role. It was like, it's why, seeing Henry's development, when I was the guy that got him into casting, and we used to be a partnership together back when I used to do commentary. It's why that's like, I've said after, when you look back at your work, when you get out the scene or whatever, and you look at your legacy, I mean, my legacy is not just going to be written work, right? It's going to be the stuff that you shared, or, with all these other people, the people that you helped elevate, and you gave them that first nudge in the right direction, and then because they're so talented and so amazing at what they do, they take it to a height that you couldn't even have imagined they would get to. So I miss being part of a broadcast. It was always just kind of, the reality is, there was no upside, when
the negatives just start to down. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah, well, when you're dealing,
you've done enough events and you've had the money and stuff, so that, like, the negatives just become too much, don't they? They start to outweigh the positives. Let's be real.
Yeah, like when you have to deal with the reality of, like, you've got dependents in your life and stuff like that, and you have to think about other people. It's very hard to say selfishly, like, sure, fuck you and what you need, and fuck the fact that if anything happens to me, you would be completely up shit creek because I want to go to an event and I want to say my opinion on Twitter and on YouTube videos, and there's mental people out there and they're gonna, that's not a consideration now. So, it's like I said, it makes sense for me to come back. It wouldn't even be like a cynical financial thing. It was something that I did used to enjoy doing. I only left E-League to go and make more money so I could help, Maria get the things that I wanted to give her. So, it's a big consideration for me right now to want to come back into that world. I don't know if there is a space or if there isn't, but I would look at it. Obviously, it completely, if I did do work with B-Site, it would completely fuck this being an impartial podcast.
Yeah, obviously.
We'd have to rebrand it. It would have to be Return of B-Site or something, But it's something to think about, for sure. But yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of talent out there that are finally going to get real money for the first time in their life. And
like I say, if it's
the
even
proof
from
that,
ESL, good.
Competition
Give it
is
from
good.
ESL, then make them pay properly for it.
Yeah.
Because the thing I worry about is this. This is actually a real concern I have. This sounds mad because I've won the media war. I've got the best talent. I actually worry that ESL knows, well, Blast signed their talent up. B-Site's got their talent. We can only do the bad ones. Fuck it, put the rate down. What can they do? They have to come to us. I worry about that now because I can't trust ESL now. I've seen the way they behave to people when they think they can exploit them. So that's why I say, hit me up. I'll help you get those rates, boys. I'll make sure they're right. And if they're not right, make sure your story gets out there.
Absolutely. Well, look, let's do the patron questions, because obviously the podcast was brought back from the dead by patrons. What they can do is, if you pay $50 or more, you get to ask a question on each episode of the show. But Pounder420 keeps thinking he can ask 5 questions. Doesn't work like that. We appreciate your patronage. But anyway, we're going to start with him. But Pounder420 says, when can we expect Sam Davis's used bong? Oh, no, that was a fake one as well. Real question. Here it is.
So,
with Monty being announced as B-Site talent, is there any chance we get a Monty Thorin casting duo for at least one CSGO game?
I don't think so, because unfortunately, first of all, we're both color commentators. Like, Monty can actually do some play-by-play. He did it when he had to, but like, he doesn't know CS that in depth. Like, it's hard to do stuff streamer conscious. You have to really know the game. So I would just say, unless it was like a show match or something fun like that, I don't think so. I also personally don't ever have plans to be anything close to a full-time commentator. So it would just have to be like one match. I would say instead, you will see Monty on camera. He will be on camera talent. But he'll be using his showmanship and he'll work his way into the game. I'll tell you another thing right now. I'll make you a prediction right now. If Monty is in CSGO, well, I know he's going to be in for at least a year. So I don't actually know how long his contract is, but I know it's at least a year, right? Yeah. So next year, he'll still be in CSGO and he'll have done a whole year of CSGO. If he actually does on-camera work and actually watches the games and does his homework, at the beginning of next year, he will actually just legit be really knowledgeable about the game. Forget just like a good talent and side stuff and all that. Because I can tell you, he had no background in FPS when he came into Overwatch. He just did this. He just applied himself, worked really hard, listened to the right people, asked the right questions, and leveled his shit up. So I guarantee he'll do it in CSGO as well. I have all the faith in the world in that. I've seen it happen.
And of course, the Overwatch community responded by saying, "I never knew what he was talking about anyway.
I know,
never knew." So I mean, for me as well, I would just say to Butt Pounder, be careful what you wish for, because you know a lot of people thought it would be great to do like a TriCast, me, Red Eye, and Thor. I can't listen to that. I think it was terrible. But you know,
it was terrible.
You know, thank God that Thorin got to make that wallet joke about Hiko.
That was hilarious, though.
Yeah, otherwise it would have been a fucking wash, I would have thought. There was, you know, so you got to be careful what you wish for. Things that sound good on paper when they turn up might not.
Yeah, the thing about that is, aside from the joke angle, surely what you want to see is me and him on a desk. That's the most obvious thing in the world. In fact, that's one thing that I always thought. Bearing in mind I worked in League of Legends, and Overwatch was a game that was an FPS. I think those leagues, quite frankly, fucked themselves by not. I mean, I told you I wouldn't have worked with some of them, but they should have at least attempted it, because we already had an obvious natural chemistry. We had the biggest fucking podcast in the world, or whatever. In League of Legends, obviously, I didn't mean in the world.
Yeah. You know, at least I got to put it right when me and Henry did that show match. That was a good cast. I enjoyed that one. That was actually worth doing. So Reykjavik on Steam. Is there any talent from any other games or completely different fields that you wish would come and give CS a go?
Loads.
There's tons. I mean, there's so many good, like, you know, I've talked about Rocket League. I mean, remember we were talking about Golden Boy. Oh, when's he going to come and do CSGO?
I think he'll come eventually.
Yeah, and I think he's somebody I would love to see come into the scene in a bigger capacity if he's not making TV shows or whatever amazing shit he's doing. I've always liked him. He's a really cool dude. I've already said on Twitter about, you know, what happened with Katie Bedford, you know, from the CWL. She literally was, if I remember rightly, like a political journalist, I think. I don't think she had anything to do with esports. She just took a shine to Call of Duty, got given a chance to be the host. She fucking knocked it out the park. That was like the best and sort of most popular desk they'd ever had over there at the CWL, like good natural chemistry. And then seemingly snaked out of a job for Call of Duty Worlds. This Call of Duty Pro League that's coming in now. That's just announced with YouTube. So she's a phenomenal talent. I think she was the breakout talent, honestly, last year, and sort of didn't get, because it was Call of Duty, a lot of people didn't pay attention to that. I think she'd be amazing. I think she would add something different. There's just so many.
I'll give you a few.
Yeah, the Rocket League guys, like Lawler just got fucking wrecked as well. You see that?
No,
Do you know Lawler?
I don't know Rocket League, unfortunately.
Right, Lawler's like one of the voices of Rocket League. He's done every Rocket League championship series since their inception. He streams daily. He's one of the like people responsible for bringing people into Rocket League. For whatever reason, Psyonix have decided he's just out now. It's crazy. He's so talented, and it's like, you know, people like that could pick up CS, because again, Rocket League has that similarity in the sense that if you've got a great voice and you can say what you see in an interesting and, you know, energetic way, that'll get you in the door, and then you learn all the shit. Like Rocket League and Counter-Strike are similar like that. It's simple on the surface, and then you learn it over time, and then you get to that next level. So yeah, there's a ton, mate. What about you?
I'll give you a few. And what I'll do is, bearing in mind there's way too many. Like, for example, if I could like brainwash them, there's a million analysts that are the best in every game that I'd bring in. Some of those guys, but the problem is they don't love CS. I don't think those people would really come, and I don't think they, like, for example, I don't think it, like, if StarCraft died tomorrow, you wouldn't want Artosis to come into CSGO if he only did it for the money. Like, that's the guy who does it on passion. So I'll say people I actually think would even potentially be open to it and would be really good. So one name I'll pick out immediately is going to be Mr. X from the Overwatch League.
Sick.
This guy's an FPS guy, and he's a fucking banger. He's really good. Yep. I'll pick someone who did CS before. How about Uber?
I was going to say Uber was the name I was going to throw out there as well.
Bring these guys over. The second these guys come over, they can compete with our best. If you want another host, I'll say Lottie from Call of Duty and a bunch of other games. Just one of the most chill, cool people you'll ever meet in your life. Not a mean bone in her body. Loads of people like that. So there's lots of legit people. By the way, loads of the people interested in Call of Duty, actually. One thing I learned about Call of Duty is it's only some of the players that are the really massive diva arseholes. Like, you know what? Most of the talent who play into that angle, because it's also like being an edgy scene, most of them are actually, it's just kayfabe. Whatever. They're just cool as fuck behind the scenes. I'll tell you another one.
Not you,
even though he just looks like Moses, if Moses hadn't have started smoking and stunted his growth. Maven. Maven's actually a legit fucking cast. He's a cool person as well. And that's a straight fire line I could use many times on desks. And now over to you, Moses, if you found that machine from Big. The great Xander.
Classic.
Whatever.
I fucking love Jason.
We made our point.
You know, it's fine. So they go
love to all those people.
Yeah, I love them all.
Tag them all.
And the beauty is we've got to see now that could entice any one of those over. So,
bring 'em.
And there'd be room. Alice the Alchemist asks, hey, Richard Doran, hope you're well. Without giving anything away, how do you think B-Site will respond to this ESL announcement of its invited list, which has most of the top 20, and how do you think it'll impact? I guess we sort of covered that, so probably not much to add there. Sorry about that, Alice. Mike, feed me. Currently, if I recall correctly, he's actually in a plane now. He's actually sent this before he went to fly. Why anyone would fly? Well, there's like a global pandemic going on outside. I don't know. Rest in peace, Mike. You take care, buddy. What do you think the conversation is like in the Sprout dressing room after they play a match? We'll get him next time. He just says as a quote. I'll tell you, I mean, having seen him at Leipzig, I just want to say that fucking Oscar actually surprised me. I thought he was going to be out of favour and not be playing that well. But fuck me, Spiddy hasn't evolved a single fucking day since I last saw him play. He was like on 2 kills for most of the game I watched him. It was fucking unreal. I can't even say anything bad about Dennis. Like, Dennis was actually, like, compared to Spiddy, you know, it was unreal. So
I'll just say one thing.
Yeah, go on.
Here's my one thing.
Go on, here's your one thing.
Just a personal shout out to someone from Summit Petty in private. Nico, one of the best players of all times in CSGO. How fucking dare you, to my face, tell me Dennis and Spiddy are good players and that they deserve to be playing in a team with you at that level? You should actually fucking reflect on your life, the things you've done and said, and apologize to me. You can do it privately, but you should do that. Like, you did something wrong there, homie. You did something wrong there. You wronged the fucking universe, and you will be cursed from this day forward to forever.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, but maybe that. No, listen. Maybe that's what it is, brother. Maybe that's why he's having such a bad time of it right now. He gets called Zera. Yep. See ya. You know, maybe this is why. Until he writes that fundamental wrong, where he, because I remember it. I think he said the same shit to me. I remember when he was arseholed out at E-League. He was fucking reeling drunk. Yeah, that is a Spiddy. You don't know anything about them. I know. Mate, I've got eyes, like, you know.
By the way, for anyone wondering, he left that team 5 months later.
Yeah, exactly. For anyone wondering how the story ends, he left that team months later, and he didn't send for fucking Spiddy and Dennis when he got to his new team, did he?
And then even when he was getting players, and they were going, listen, we need a really cheap player. They don't have to be good or anything. What about Neo? He's absolutely shit. Yeah, get him. What about Adren? He's absolutely shit. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Dennis and Spiddy will get them the fuck out of my way right now. Like, are you out of your mind?
FaZe has sort of become that, hasn't it? It's basically like Nico's given up on trophies. He's just sort of collecting, I want to play with this player so I can say I did it. He's kind of in that phase. Like, well, have
it's like the ultimate Make-A-Wish Foundation scenario.
Yeah. Right. Sunmade Raisins asks, what do you think the French teams would have been like if Kenny S and Shox could have played on the same team back when they were in proper form?
Oh, amazing.
Straight fire, innit? Yeah, it would have been.
Put it this way, that
would have been the dynastic team.
Bearing in mind, the same players just won a major with each of them separately.
Exactly.
What the fuck could they have? They could have gone straight against the Swedes, and that would have been amazing. Because remember, every other scene practically, I know Sweden didn't because they had so much talent. They had like 4 of those players. But every other scene would just combine those players. Like they wouldn't have won separate teams forever during their primes. That's just unfortunately the arrogance and hubris of the French scene just epitomized. And then when did they finally get over it? When they're all fucking washed up. Yeah, sound, you daft cunts. Why have you done that?
Yeah. It's a tough one. I think ultimately the thing that held back the French scene when we transitioned from Source to CS:GO was basically everybody. I think most of the experts honestly looking back, I can't remember how you felt about it at the time, but I think because a lot of people felt CSGO was so similar to Source, people expect Very Games to have the advantage. What people didn't realize was that obviously the team that was NIP originally sort of been playing under the SK banner, I think, before that, and they'd put a lot of time in. The 1.6s Get Right, who had actually played Source, a little bit, casually. They had put a lot of work into that team behind the scenes. They wanted to hit the ground running. And if you go back and watch, what was it? The first event was Valencia, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember being there. Somebody posted the winning moment, actually, of NIP winning the tournament. It was Very Games net. That Very Games team was great, but it never sort of quite got there. And I think that was sort of what started to create all these divides in the French scene. I think if Very Games had hit the ground running in the way NIP did and had a dynastic start at the start of CSGO, I think we've got a very different scene right now. I think some of those old wounds would have healed and new ones wouldn't have opened. So it's a shame. I mean, the French scene is the big what if scene of Counter-Strike in the global offensive era for me. It's the one where at any point in time you could have put 5 players together and made a team that would be arguably the best in the world, and for whatever reason those players could never play with each other. It was just a pipe dream. So I think if you put Vintage Shocks and Vintage Kenny S, I don't even know if you have to think too hard about the other 3. But let's be clear, at that time there was 3 straight fire French players you could pick up. You could have had Vintage MBK. You could have, Happy before he was fucking reamed out. You just pick and choose. You could have built any team, but those were the stars, and unfortunately we never got that. And the last question, Watch Doge, do you think Jackie could get the COD League a spot in his shed? It might be more cozy than a garage. The worst part about that garage,
probably can't afford Jackie's shed.
Yeah, I was going to say, the worst part about that fucking garage tournament is that it was in Minnesota, right? So I was looking at the weather down there, and it was like 33 degrees. It was like fucking cold. So apparently no one was called inside.
You just wrecked us, as if you just wrecked us with Fahrenheit when you're from the fucking UK. As if
I think in all America, everything I think is American now.
That was the thing in there.
I think in dollars, I think in pounds.
It was like Hawaii out there.
I couldn't even tell you what I weigh in store. I wouldn't want to look at the fucking scales, probably.
That's half a degree Celsius, so just over 0.
But I'm 238 pounds, whatever the fuck that is. But
heavyweight in the UFC, I believe.
It's brilliant. As you can see, I'm
fucking
ready for it, mate. I'm ready for it, mate. You bring them on.
Where's Daniel Cormier?
Yeah, call me out here. I'll go toe to toe with him. But yeah, anyway, it's I don't think so. As Duncan said, the fucking COD League's not off to a great start in terms of optics, no pun intended. And we can wrap it up there, I guess. So all that remains to be said is shoutout.com/RLS. Go there, click buttons. If you feel like you want to play some bets, deposit money. But if you are going to do that, remember, 18+ only, bet responsibly. And remember, they'll match whatever you put in up to $100 because they're just nice like that. They're a great partner to work with. And I also just want to shout out the patrons. Remember, $50 or more, you get to ask a question. But Pounder thinks he gets to ask 5. You don't. It is just 1 per $50. In fact, maybe the $100 patrons get 2 from now on. Maybe we can make that a rule, just to differentiate. Of course, it'll make the podcast last 6 hours an episode, but whatever.
We'll just make some of them quick answers.
Yeah, well, I need to work on that. I actually treat every question with respect and deference, and it just adds another 45 minutes to the podcast. Anyway, thanks to our $100 patrons, Jerky's Minion, Alice the Alchemist, Alisha Uzmanov, and Rekovic on Steam, and our $50 patrons, Benakagi Assassin, Butt Pounder 420, Carve, Flacksmith, J Dubs, Lipscomb Davis, Madsen, Marcus Kiumpar, Mike Feedme, Nemesis, Nikolai Lundgreen, Sard Sawar, Sunmade Raisins, TC Owens, Tobias Bernasconi, and Watch Doge. I don't know when the next episode will be next week. Stay tuned on Twitter to find out. But until we are next on the airwaves, make sure you all take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.